Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Laureli Shimayo. This is our MeWe Awakening panel for energizing body, mind, heart, and soul. We have events throughout the Northwest and online. Clearly, this is our online event. The theme today is medical intuition for people and animals. It's free to be here to listen and learn, and it's a small price to ask a question of the panel. I'll put all that basic info in the chat again in a moment. Meanwhile, let's have the practitioners introduce themselves. I'm going to bring practitioners up to spotlight. And then we'll get started with our intros. And we have one more practitioner that may be joining us. They may be feeding birds right now. And I'll put me up here too. Let's see if I get all of us. I think so. All right, great. Let's see. Well, so I'm open to what order we go in. Maybe you should, Cindy, do you want to go first? So we'll have Cindy, Cynthia, Donna, Karen, and then Susie. So Cindy, you want to go first? And go ahead, take like 3 minutes or so and share about all you do.
Hi, everybody. I am Cindy McGonagle. I'm a psychic medium. And today I'm going to be a pet psychic. And I'm also an animal communicator. I have a certification program. So if you are interested in learning to be an animal communicator, you can find the information on my website, cindymcgonagle.com. You can also find me on YouTube and on Instagram, and I love to help you to understand your pets and to help you to understand that pets really do have a message that they want to communicate with you. So if you want to dive deep into learning about family dynamics, things like remote viewing, what's going on with your pet when you're not at home, just things like that, I'm the person to call. And I am here and I am at your service if you want to go deeper and look into questions that you have that a psychic can answer as well. So thank you so much. Information's in the chat. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Cindy. Or it's Cynthia's next, and there's Cindy's info right there in the chat.
Hi, everyone. My name is Cynthia Okimoto, and I am a pet Reiki practitioner and healer. I've been working with people and pets for the past 15 years. I started in Beijing, China, and I'm in New York City. Right now, I am a holistic dog trainer, which means that I close the gap between pets' wants and needs in their environment and routines so that you two can have a better, more harmonious relationship. Some of the success cases that I've had outside of the holistic dog training have included working with dogs who have declining mobility in their rear legs, as well as pets who are at the end of the life or who have been dog napped or ran away. I help reunite them with their family. And for my slightly more curious clients who work with me a little bit longer, what I do is I help teach them small healing techniques that they can do at home with their pet that anyone can do. It's very simple and easy. I may teach you guys here tonight if it ends up coming up in one of the questions. And I really love what I do. So I'm really excited to hear what some of the questions are this afternoon and evening.
You're muted, Laureli.
Susie, you want to introduce yourself?
Okay. Yeah, I'm up.
Right, just
Thanks,
because my screen stuck. My whole screen was stuck and I couldn't see anything and I couldn't do anything. So yeah, go ahead.
Okay, where do you want to go then?
Donna's next. Sorry.
Okay, let's go, Donna.
Hi, everybody. Welcome. My name is Dr. Donna Sauer. I'm an animal energy healer and animal communicator. I have a background in sciences for nurses. I taught at university for about 30 years. I have a Reiki master. I also follow traditional Lakota healing methods. And I work with animals that are here, perhaps with some behavioral problems or health problems. I also am a medium for pets that have crossed over. And I work with their guardians so that the guardians have a better understanding of the higher angelic vibrations of animals and their beautiful work that they come to help us with down here. So down here, I mean, in the physical plane as opposed to the spiritual plane is what I mean. So if you have anything that you would like to ask about tonight, please do. And I hope that you learn lots and lots of good things about how animals and humans have such a beautiful bond, growing both in their spiritual paths together. Enjoy.
Thanks so much, Donna. Okay, Karen and then Susie.
Hello, everyone. My name is Karen Coccia. I'm a quantum healer, a multidimensional mentor, and a soul alignment coach. My dog is with me at the moment. I'm trained in a number of energy healing modalities. I'm a Reiki master. I've been trained in intuitive healing, quantum healing, life coaching through tarot, as well as sound and crystal healing. And I help people remember who they came here to be by helping them discover everything that they're holding on to that's not theirs. Really helping them discover their true essence. I connect energetically with my clients on a one-on-one basis, and together we clear through everything that you're holding on to that's not actually yours or doesn't belong to you. So anything from trapped emotions to collapsing Akashic records, sending energy healing, connecting you to denied or repressed aspects of yourself, and really helping with mindset shifts and helping you to get soul aligned. So really being who you came here to be in this lifetime. I'm also moving into my mission right now of really helping people who are newly awakened go through the awakening process. So again, my name is Karen Coccia. You can find me at karencoccia.com. I am so excited to be here tonight, and I'm hoping to dabble a little bit and see if I can get any information on what's going on with your pets as well, because that's something that I find to be very intriguing. So thank you for having me. I'm very excited to be here tonight.
Thanks so much, Karen. Okay, Susie now.
Ta-da! Hi, I'm Susie Parker Goins of Blue Lightning Healing. I am a channel, an energy healer, past life explorer. I call in, I bring in the tools and techniques that we need in any given moment to help you clear out things that are blocking you or to help you up level your energy and your vibration. And it's all what is called for in the moment to help you clear a path to a heartfelt life. I like to say that I understand the power of yes. So this is something we can do. I feel like we all can do it. And so whatever you get from a session is something, if you feel comfortable, go ahead and do it on yourself so we can help you continue to move forward and to develop into that amazing being that you are embodied here, help you get those higher frequencies going. I also have a podcast called Blue Lightning Healing Meditations. You can find the links for that on my website, which is bluelightninghealing.com. And I do have a special 20% off an hour session. It's in the chat because Laureli is very conscientious about putting that stuff in. And I'm looking forward to talking to y'all and playing with, do we play with medical intuition? I don't know. We're going to look at medical intuition and see how we can help you all move forward. Thanks.
It looks like Cynthia popped out. I'm not sure where. All right, so have to watch for her to come back in. All right, we have one more practitioner that I believe is going to be joining us too. We're reaching out to her by text right now. More people coming in, and that is Dr. Nadine, who's a master healer for animals and humans, does medical intuition and naturopathy. And Cynthia should be back shortly too. So we're here to answer your questions. Maybe, gosh, it went so quick. We're probably gonna have a bunch of questions too, but I'm just wondering, maybe could you all just give examples of the kinds of questions that people might ask about themselves or about animals in their life or in terms of medical intuition? I'm just wondering, oh, and I need to put in some fine print. Let me go find some fine print. Maybe I'll read off the fine print really briefly. Do I have it right here? I'll go find my fine print. Fine print, here we go. By participating in this event, the attendee understands that most of us, are not medical doctors and are not giving medical advice. The attendee further agrees that information gained from this event is for educational purposes only. Please seek allopathic medical attention if needed. The attendee indemnifies MeWe fairs and practitioners from any results related to the application of these educational materials in practice. Thanks so much for understanding our need to have fine print. I'll put that in the chat as well. Right, right. Yeah, so like what kinds of questions people might ask. The giggles of the fine print. All right.
It certainly won't be to have you repeat that. That was good all in one breath. Okay.
My dad's first love was radio. I guess I pull on him, right, to do this. All right. But yeah, just like examples of like the range, the kinds of things, so people have some idea. Like clearly it could be a physical thing they have. Oh yeah, Susie, go ahead, jump in.
Okay. And I decided to raise my hand this time. So kinds of questions, I mean, based on the things that the panel we all say we can do, um, we can for me, I scan energy in the body and I can see where there are blockages there. And so you could ask questions about that. Past life stuff. Do you have a connection with either a soul connection, maybe with a pet or an animal or even somebody else? Honestly, I have seen these panels answer all kinds of questions, and it's really quite impressive the way we're able to call in these abilities that we have. So it's wide open, y'all. Come on in.
And so I should say the questions typically would be about medical intuition for this panel, and we can answer questions about anything. Let's say it might be like a physical experience, set of symptoms that you have that more conventional medicine has not been able to make progress on for you. It could be you haven't explored that approach before. It could be you just have a sense that something's different or something's changing. It could be something about your animal again that seems like something's not been the same or been, just all kinds of different things. Maybe you have a sense that your animal could be healthier than they are and you're wondering what's happening. It could be a behavioral thing, which we want to also get Cynthia back for those too. And I'll text her in a moment. And just all kinds of, so I'm having struggles with a tooth right now. So like that might have psychological meaning for me. It might not really be about my tooth, so all kinds of different things. Yeah, and we've got at least one question that's coming already, but all the rest of you, if you want to jump in and say anything about examples of kinds of questions. 2 questions have come in. Oh, go ahead. Oh, Cindy and Donna, you don't have to raise your hands. Go ahead, Cindy, and then Donna.
Okay, so I found that clients sometimes take on some ancestral ailments, and it shows up physically in their bodies. And then if it's not addressed, by a doctor, or sometimes it just is missed, sometimes the pet will then take it on so that you can understand that your pet is also wanting you to pay attention to the physical side it is feeling. Because sometimes, they do mirror what's going on with us a lot of times to help us to understand, their place as a healer within the family as well. Sometimes what I like to do is a client will give me the name of their pet, and I will do what's called remote viewing, where I will go in and I will look over the body of the animal and just verify using my telepathic abilities, what's happening with the animal. And then I'll relay that back to the owner and always refer them back to a vet to get confirmation if they need that, and suggestions. Because I'm clairvoyant, I'll see pictures of the situation that could, or plants, or other suggestions on exercise and things like that can help both you and your pet. So I hope that kind of gives you an idea of the kinds of questions that you can ask. Thank you.
Yeah, that's great. Great. Go ahead, Dr. Donna.
I was just going to give an example. I had a client just recently, just wanted to know, the elderly cat, just wanted to know, how she was doing. She seemed to be a little bit overweight, so the vet said, and was she mad about having her meal portions reduced greatly? So it's really just so much fun to connect with them. And they usually come into me long before I even start the session. I always ask permission to honor them being as a unique soul that they are. And this little one came in and she said, it was just so funny. It was like a Broadway show. She said, like she was singing, she said, "You've got questions, I've got answers." So, and the guardian immediately picked up and said, "That's exactly her attitude," And then she said, "He's a big worrier." And the guy said, "Yes, I am." The guardian said. So they come through so beautifully in trying to keep the energies in a home even, healthy, vibrating on a higher plane. And when things get out of whack, as Cindy was saying, that they'll try to take some of that dis-ease onto themselves and get sick, just trying to keep everything under control. So I just wanted to bring that up, that they all have a personality. You never know what's going to come through, and they're just delightful. And I learn spiritual things from every single one of them. So I hope we can help you tonight.
Thanks so much. Great. Well, we've got 2 people in line, so we can always start and jump, jump in there and then come back. And by the way, I remember Cynthia did warn me she had to disappear for a few minutes, so she will be back again in a little bit. And we have reached out to Dr. Nadine, who may hopefully show up in the middle. All right. Well, so Dale and Daniel. Dale, you are first. There we go. Great. All right. Thanks for giving me some notes. You want to share what your question is?
You just want to read it?
I can read it, sure.
Okay.
So Dale writes, "I'm wanting to have an animal in my life again. I would myself as a dog." Maybe you see yourself as a dog person who is considering a cat due to your living situation in an apartment. Any insights on what would be a good fit for you? And might a cat be seen in your future? Well, I've got one big thing to say to that, but I need to get someone else on screen first. Come here, buddy. Come here. Yes, you. Come here. Someone who is the size of a cat, and like so much more dog and human than I could ever imagine. So I can't remember. You probably didn't meet him because I've only been in town once with him for less than 24 hours. So you have to meet him before you decide if it's a dog or a cat.
Yeah.
So much dog.
Well, no, I definitely love dogs. It's just that I'm living on the second floor apartment, and I don't have a backyard, and I'm on the go all the time, hiking and biking and stuff. And so I'm not home a whole lot. So I'm just concerned about, I don't want to leave a dog alone, where I think a cat would be better off. Believe me, I would love to have a dog, but I just don't think my life right now is suited to having a dog.
Right.
But
right.
I don't know if I should suffer without an animal or trade or go for a cat.
Yeah,
My sister has a Burman cat, and we call it puppy cat because it's very dog-like. And so I've been getting some good hits off of that cat. I wouldn't be a good match for an aloof cat. I would need a cat that is affectionate and interactive.
Great. And it looks like Susie's got some answers for you.
And I love your dog, Laureli. It's so cute.
I don't know if I have answers so much, Dale. I do have another question.
Yeah.
The more you talk, the more it sounds like you're already leaning towards a cat. But a dog, as Laureli has demonstrated, a dog that size can be taken wherever. What would be that exception? Because dogs can travel. I mean, I've got a great big 90-pound dog, and he goes pretty much everywhere we can.
And tease, my assistant actually has a bird that she's figured out a little contraption to put on her bicycle, and she takes her bird on bicycle rides. I'm just saying.
Yeah. So that's a clarifying question.
Point well taken, Susy. Yeah, I've weighed these things out. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I just don't I'm in a small apartment, second apartment. I don't want to have to, I used to have a dog where I was in a home in a backyard where you could just let them go free. I'm not too thrilled about having to, take the dog out and
Okay.
on leash, you know.
I understand.
So,
Yeah. I
yeah.
understand. Okay.
And I
Well, I'm
have
gonna
friends that do that, and they tell me it's kind of a pain in the neck. So,
okay, well, I'm going to pass it on over to the other ones. I just wanted to ask the question. So thanks.
yeah, no, I've been deliberating on this for a long time. Thank you.
Good.
That's great. We have Karen and Cindy next. Oh, and let me just jump in. Sorry. I usually say this in the beginning, and I know you know this, but let me say, if we go deeper than you want us to go, or for everyone, if we go deeper than you want us to go, we talk about topics you don't want us talking about here, please jump in and interrupt us and let us know. We're here to honor you. And then also, this is a great opportunity for everyone to practice opening to your intuition, because whatever comes through you can see if it's similar to what we say. We do request that only the panel is generally the ones that are speaking, unless someone is paid to ask a question. If you have something that you want to share, because everyone is intuitive, we request that you hold it and allow the attention to stay up in the panel. And then if you want, when the person is done having their question answered, you're welcome to private chat them and ask them if they'd like to hear what came through you. Please honor whatever they share. It could be that they're full after hearing all of our answers and trust that it came through you for another reason. So thanks so much. And I'll put the information in the chat again about how you ask a question. All right, on to the next answers. We have Karen and Cindy and then Donna.
Dale.
Yeah.
So as I'm tapping into your energy, you feel very, very independent. And I was going to ask you, like, what is it about a dog that you love? And when you started talking about having a backyard and being able to just let the dog go out in the backyard, it really feels like a cat would be a very good fit for you, because it allows you to not have that guilt about going out and maintaining the lifestyle that you're already having. But there are, and you mentioned with your sister, there are cats that are incredibly loving. And, I had a cat growing up that would run to the door when I came home, sit on my lap whenever I wanted. But at the same time, she was completely fine on her own and could, traverse throughout the house, and you wouldn't see her for a while. But then you call for her and she comes, bounding down and would spend as much time with you as you wanted. There are rescues that will actually pair you up with the right personality. So you might do well with literally going to a rescue and meeting the cats and trying to find one that pairs well with your personality, and just find one that wants to be affectionate but isn't overly affectionate, because that also exists, and I've had that as well.
Yeah.
But I do get a very strong feeling that a cat would be a fantastic fit for you, and like fit perfectly in with the lifestyle that you're holding. So,
okay, super. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Great, thanks, Karen. All right, we've got
Okay.
next.
Dale, the first cat that appeared right away was this big old orange, like tabby. Okay. And it's like me. Have you ever had an orange cat before?
I've never had a cat ever in my life.
Okay. So this cat is like, finally. It goes like this. You can find me in a foster family. I'm not too far away from you. All you need to do is call me to you. I've been waiting for you. I come in as one of your master teachers. I'm also aligned as a soul companion for you. I get along with other cats. I am older than 3 months, so it's not a baby kitten. Okay. And I would like also to have another cat with me. And the cat says, would you like a tuxedo? Do you know a tuxedo? They're the black and white cats.
Yeah.
They're super affectionate.
Okay.
Tuxedos. And wants to know if you'll give it a cat tower so it can look out. And maybe even a catio. I don't know if you have a balcony or a way.
I do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. And wants to be able to sleep with you.
Okay, that's fine with me.
So just call that cat to you. Usually the orange cats are males.
Okay. So orange tabby. Okay.
Yeah. And he says, you'll recognize me by the look in my eye.
Okay.
I hope that helps.
Oh, I love it. Thank you. I'm definitely going to reach out.
Great. And Cynthia, I just gave you Dale's question in the chat. And then before Donna goes, I want to mention to you, just watch out, Dale, all the conversations that we've had. Make sure it's not a sage male cat.
A what?
A sage
Oh,
cat. The red hair got me like, whoa, what? No. All right, Donna.
wait, should I check with you before I get it?
Optionally, but it depends. You might appreciate that in a cat. So just want to make conscious choices. I got Susie laughing. All right, Donna. Go ahead, Donna.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm kind of, I'm betwixt and between now that Cindy has told you about the color of the cat, because I was shown a muted calico female, elderly. She said her name is Pearl, and she said she'll find you. So you don't need to go looking for her. And I also got that in so much as you're gone quite a bit, that getting two cats would be a blessing for them to be able to interact with it. They might not like each other. Sometimes it takes, just so you know, cats are not dogs, and they sometimes will take up to 6 months before they decide that you're okay, and they wish to give you their blessing. Okay, so you don't want to rush with them. The other thing I was going to suggest to you is that there are a number of adoption places that have fostering, and if you decide to adopt the animal for seniors, I'm not saying how old you are, but often they will pair up a senior person with a senior cat at no cost for the adoption. So you might consider looking for a foster kitty, a senior, and again, I would say two cats. I don't know what, pick one of Cindy's. But anyway, that's what I got also. And I liked what Cindy said about having a catio so that they can get out, hear the birds, have some fresh air. Because for some senior cats, they like to be up. Some don't like to be up. So just depends on their personality. But I wish you luck. They'll bring you much, much love when they get there.
Thank you.
Great. Yeah, and I love the idea of getting two, so they have company. Cynthia's got something, and I got something else to share at the end. Go ahead.
Hi, Dale. Thank you, everyone. Sorry, I had to commute somewhere, so thank you for your patience. What I saw when for a pet for you is actually one cat that would like the cat backpack. You know how it's like that fishbowl thing that you sometimes will see people wearing. I don't know if that's your thing or not. You don't always have to carry it on your back. Sometimes you can wear it on the front, but I think that the cat that's looking, or animal that's looking to come into your life, wants adventure.
Oh,
and
good.
yeah, is like really wanting to explore and discover stuff. And what my specialty really is once you find a pet, you can check back in either on this panel or with me privately. And what I help do is I let you know about the time frame that it's going to take for the animal to adjust to you, as well as any other people or situations. And I harmonize the energy between your home and the animals and yourself to smooth out that transition. And I can kind of look really briefly and see, you know, if this animal is going to, like, what their personality is and how well it's going to fit in with whatever you choose. So it's kind of more of like a future thing once you got the pet. It's a lot of fun. Like, some animals integrate really nicely and others it takes a little bit longer, but I think you're up for a lot of fun with your next pet.
Thank you.
And so I just have a question for those of you that know the animals better. So Dale, in some ways your personality reminds me a little bit of Siamese. And so I'm wondering if you have any natural draw towards them. And I was looking them up and it sounds like they can be friendly. I think of them also as being somewhat distant and independent, and maybe in some ways having a cat that's independent enough and connecting would be good. But yeah, so those of you that know the breeds better, do you have any comments about that?
I had a Siamese. He was actually the clingiest of all of my cats. I don't know if that was atypical. Such a sweetheart, loved him dearly, but very, very, very constantly licking me nonstop, wanting to always sit on me if I'm sitting down on top of me. Super, super loving. He didn't like moving a lot. He got very mad at me.
Okay.
Moving physically, or you mean moving like space?
I moved physically. I lived in San Diego, and then I moved to New Jersey, and I left him with friends for a few weeks while I got in my new home, and he didn't like that very much. And then after a year, I moved to another apartment, and then after a year, I moved to another apartment, and then 3 years later, I bought a house, and he was with me through all of that. And at the last house, he was like, "I'm done. Don't make me move." He did not shy away from showing me how angry he was.
Okay, great.
Thank
great.
you.
Thanks so much, Dale.
Yeah, thanks everybody. Appreciate it. To be seen.
Oh, yeah. So there's a dog with Cynthia. It's great. Just Cynthia, I wanted to see Cynthia. Did you have any comments about Siamese? I was wondering about Siamese because to me, Dale reminds me of Siamese cats. Just if you had any comments about that.
Yeah, I can see you with the Siamese. I can see that. Yeah, I think they're very intellectual, right?
If they are, that's maybe not quite the right thing. I just there's an elegance to them that I like, a very like neatly tailored kind of elegance to them, and that's what Dale, I know you appreciate that.
Yeah, I think just off the bat, I don't know a whole lot about Siamese, but I've never been attracted to those cats. I like something, more on the server end of things, somebody who's sweet and cuddly.
They're probably like priest king cats is probably what Siamese in general.
Yeah. Right. Okay, I'm excited to see what happens, you guys. Thanks everyone for your contributions. I really appreciate it.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Great, and Cynthia's back. Let's see, I just wanted to mention in between. So let's see, so Anna, you had your hand raised. I wanted to check in with you. You're on a phone, so I know you might not be able to hear us. I'm not sure why you were raising your hand. We asked that people pay before they ask a question, and you may have had a logistical question, or did you want to, if you're able to chat, that's great. And if you wanted to ask a question really briefly that's logistical, that's great. Or look in the chat for the information on how to pay if you're wanting to ask a question, and I'll put it in the bottom, just right in the chat again too. We've got several people in line now. We've got Daniel next, and then Jen is after that. And Jen, it's great. I've got you in line. You don't need to have your hand up. Yeah, I watch our practitioners as they're ready to answer generally with the hands up. All right, great. Daniel, you are up. Oh, and Dr. Nadine is joining us in about 20 minutes. So she'll be here soon too. Oh, there you are. Get you up here. All right, Daniel, what is your question?
Am I heard okay?
We can hear you.
Great. Well, I'm surprised to be on because I just show up to these panels whenever I can, and I suddenly realize at the start of it, hey, wait a minute. I feel like I've got a personal dimension here. For the first time, I've not been asked a question before. I've been a panelist before. Anyway, I want to be careful with my question about the boundaries on this. Even step back a little farther. This is a cat that passed 2 weeks ago, and I just realized I've got a lot of tenderness still. So I may close my camera off. I may leave entirely. We'll see. Okay, so the boundaries I want to be clear about, let me describe the relationship. Is that, let's see, this was a black cat, about 19 years old as far as we know. I was not the core owner or the guardian, though I was essentially a co-parent through different phases of this 18 years, even to the point of like 6 months, Moon was her name, Moon Cat, staying with me while the true guardian was out of town. And I think in the last maybe year or so, couple of years, it felt like it more shifted to probably the long-term relationship where I'm a concerned other and experienced other, but not co-parent. So I feel I want to respect the boundaries and not over ask. So having said that, my interest is, well, my kind of professional path, my life path is wellness, health and wellness for people, not specifically for pets, though it applies to pets within my purview. But I'm curious about some dimensions of care for Moon, healthcare choices. So always I was clear that I couldn't make final decisions unless I was forced into that, because if Mooncat was in my care and the owner was not reachable. But that never really came up in a big way. I had to witness and could not change a lot of health choices along the way because they were beyond my appropriate choicing. But I also had senses of, if I had the liberty, what would I do for care of her? So I'm kind of clear about boundaries, and they're really important to me. So I suppose to focus it down to questions is that if Moon had any perspective on choices she would have liked me to have made in care for her that either I didn't perceive is one, because I don't claim to be all perceiving, but did I have some blind spots to what would have been appropriate? Or in sort of a related area, if she would have preferred that I be more proactive on certain health choices with the primary guardian. I hope I'm clear in my communication.
It's great. And I've got notes on that in the sheet if anyone wants to see the details, or message me in chat and I'll send you my notes. Oh, and I also have a picture or two that I didn't take, one of the day before she died, and I think 2 years before, if anybody needs that. But you'd have to ask me for that. I won't just put it up. Donna, go ahead.
Donna, you're muted.
Daniel, this kitty came through very strong. She's saying she made it 19 years. Of course she was strong. She says, I'm made of pioneer stuff. That's what she's trying to say. And she wants you to know that, I know this sounds kind of like a cliche, but she was saying everything was as it was supposed to be. And your choices or non-choices were secondary to the lessons that she was helping with the actual primary guardian. So in other words, she was there to help the primary guardian learn lessons. And so she appreciates everything that you did for her. She understands that you were upset at times about maybe the care or the food or whatever she was getting. But she said that was perfectly okay. She understands your care and your love for her. But she wants you to know that there was a reason that she came into that primary guardian's life. And So she was doing a lot of training with him on his spiritual path. And so she wants you, she's saying no guilt, absolutely no guilt, total acceptance without reservation for you. So she wants you to let go of that. And she's saying, I don't know what this means, but she's saying if she could have something about hippity hop. I don't know what that means, but she was saying if she, when she was with you, she felt like it was hippity hop time. So in other words, she was in, I think she's saying, let me ask. Yeah, she was saying that it was an energetic time when she was with you, like a rabbit, you know, lots of the Energizer bunny, and that you provided that relief for her so that she could go back then to the primary guardian. So she wants to thank you for everything you did for her. And please, no guilt. Absolutely not. She said, I will not accept that. She's very stern about that. So, and she's also saying, have you seen her in the last 2 weeks in spirit? Because she's showing me walking across your bed, hopping down, going into the kitchen. Just she's making herself known. Now, whether she's knocked off anything off of the counter or maybe your toothbrush off of the bathroom counter, I don't know any of those things, but she's making herself known because she wants you to know that she's perfectly okay and that she's still with you. She will be with you so even after you've crossed over, you'll be together. She said, actually, if I can add one more thing, I don't mean to monopolize, but she was saying part of the reason that you felt so close to her is that you and Moon were together in a previous lifetime. And so you had a very, very close bond in that previous lifetime. And that's why you feel so close to her, even though you were not the primary guardian. So she wants you to understand that in this lifetime, you guys, the three of you, drew up a divine purpose contract, and everybody had lessons to learn, and it panned out exactly as you planned it to be. Everything was as it was supposed to be, in love and light. Hope that helped.
Cool. Thank you, Donna.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks, Donna. We've got Susie and then Cindy.
Hey, Daniel. Everything that Donna said, it was coming through at the same time. She was there primarily for her primary guardian, and with your respect of boundaries, she understood how hard it was for you to not step around. So that was also part of your lesson with it. But I do reiterate, there is no guilt. There is all love for you and her. You know, the past life, yeah, you've had a few there. And she's like, they were adventures, and we did it. We had a good time, and she's not worried about those. But I do agree also with Donna that she's going to be hanging around you for a while because she is very conscientious about your desire to make sure you did right. And she wants to reassure you that, yes, you did what you were supposed to do within these parameters that you've set up, and you did not step over them. You're very respectful, and she has all sorts of love for you. Thanks.
Great. Thank you, Susie.
Thanks, Susie. All right, we've got Cindy next.
Okay, so Daniel, I am so sorry for the loss. You know, it's very difficult right now. I get that. Hopefully, do you know about Rescue Remedy at all?
Yeah.
Okay. So Moon says, as I heard her anyway, you're not to blame. I always knew you deeply cared for me. Now, please ask me to help you and your clients going forward. I'm available as a familiar. Do you know what a familiar is?
I think you better define it for me.
A familiar is a shamanic term, more or less. Witches used them before, but they come in as friendly totems and spirit guides to work with you as a soul in a big way. to help you to understand things that are going on around you and to give you insights going forward. And the cat says, "You're not alone. I'm with you forever and ever." Thank you.
Thanks, Cindy.
Thank you, Cindy.
And Dr. Nadine, I gave you I chatted you with what's happening for Daniel. He was asking us that we stay pretty like narrow and focused in our response. Donna, go ahead.
I just wanted to add Daniel, that what Cindy said about being a familiar with a witch is very traditional for witches to have black cats as their familiars. So it fits right in with what she's saying.
Yeah, does anyone have anything else for Daniel? Maybe Daniel, and I'm not quite sure, you spoke to some things that might not quite be the right fit on the call in our answers. So please, if I'm wandering outside that, let me know.
Okay.
Yeah, just I experience in you like so much desire to be good and to get things right, and questioning whether you've been good enough. And I see how you show up in events and you bring so much care and so much desire to do well and have our events go really well. And I know in me, like I feel some sadness that you're questioning whether you made the right decisions and did the right things.
I think my question is maybe even a little more nuanced than that. Was there something that I didn't see that it's like educational that, oh, and here's a, I'm always on the lookout for blind spots in my own perception in any area of life. So if there's any, and the other person is the one to shine the light on the blind spot for me.
Well,
so I'm wondering if Mooncat can say, oh, from this angle, here's a blind spot you might explore in yourself to be able to move through that.
Right. And that's why I think it's not the thing to do here. That's why I go looking at your relationship with the guardian. Like in how you might hold yourself back with that and like how you didn't follow your intuition.
I was always pretty clear with the guardian about how I might do things differently, and I couldn't. So I don't feel like I was forcing myself to not participate or not be in integrity. It was more, I'm wondering, what did I miss in the picture? Because in retrospect, there's always deeper richness for me after the fact that, the lessons go on of even though the time has passed is kind of where I'm coming from with my queries on this.
Okay, great. Yeah, I encourage you, Dr. Nadine. I know you got here late, so if there's anything you are picking up that you want to share. It was a cat that died 2 weeks ago. Okay. Yeah, anyone else? Susy, you're hesitating, like there's something. Go ahead.
No, I was just trying to find my raised hand. Daniel, I don't think that while I'm getting that subconsciously you caught a lot of things, but they weren't for you to deal with because this was a relationship between Moon and their guardian. Being as empathic as I know you are to be, I can understand where you would think, gee, what did I miss? What did I do wrong or not do? And as I believe I said, and I know as Donna said, you did what you had to do in this contract. This wasn't an easy soul contract for you. And Moon continues to say you're not to blame for anything. You did exactly what you needed to do. You saw exactly what you needed to be, and you acted in accordance. For me, that's like way more full of integrity than I could possibly hope to achieve myself. I think you did exactly as you needed to, and there is no guilt. And I don't think you did, even in not being able to actively go out and help Moon, I think you still did exactly what you needed to do. what was expected and what was called for. You did that. And you fulfilled your part of that contract.
Okay, got it.
Okay. Okay.
Thanks, Susie.
Yeah.
Mm,
That can be enough. You know, I feel like I've gotten a lot to reflect on right now.
Thank you, Daniel. All right, I'm going to dance with people in line for questions. I believe Jen is the next one. Jen, I'll bring you up here. And Dr. Nadine, maybe do you want to go just take a moment and introduce yourself? Let's get you unmuted. Great.
Hi, everybody. I'm Dr. Nadine, and I am a master healer for animals and humans. And so I will just wait until I hear your question and see if there's an alignment to participate.
Great, thanks so much. Let's see. All right, go ahead, Jen. What is your question?
Hey everybody, I'm Coccia, and I just want to say this is my first MeWe event, and this is really cool. I really like this setup that I can ask a question and have so many people respond, and I'm also kind of feeling it out because I do the same work to see if it's something I may want to be a part of in the future, if that was ever an opportunity. So the first thing I'll say about my question is, you can go anywhere. I'm not worried about anything being revealed in any way. Like you can go anywhere. If you see anything, I'm open to hearing it if you think it will help. So I've had some health challenges that I've been working with, and my beautiful cat, who I adore, Sundari, who is part Siamese, she's here on my lap right now, and I can show her to you if you'd like. She's also had some health challenges, and I've gotten a little bit that, you know, and I sense this, that she takes some stuff on, which I don't want her to. And so I was trying to communicate to her, like, no, don't take it on. It's okay. You know, I can do this. And interestingly, when I tried to communicate some of that to her, and another healer that I worked with, and even another friend who came over who took the liberty to communicate it to her, she started getting a little aggressive with me afterwards. Like I think she thought she was supposed to like separate, or I wasn't the alpha anymore or something like that. I don't really know, but when she's not feeling well, sometimes she'll turn and like try to bite me, like I'm going to be the one up, you know, kind of animal behavior attitude is how I interpret it. So what I would love to know is if there's anything I can do to be helping her more. She's just started getting like little shaky legs when she's standing, her front two legs. She has thrown up. I've had her for 5 years. She throws up often. I've had her, like, she's had ultrasounds, and her latest thing is now she's biting the fur off the back of her legs to just her skin. And I took her to the doctor for that. I'm in Florida right now, and they said they think she's allergic to something. But my sense is there's just some underlying stuff. And I did see a past life with her where she was a dog in ancient Rome, and she had rabies, and she bit a little boy in the calf, and that little boy ended up dying. So some of the sickness seemed related to that lifetime, was what I got. So I guess I'll stop there and just see if there's anything that you all are getting that you feel I could do to better help her, or, you know, make her more comfortable or have her be at ease. And I'm also open to anything that you sense about what could be wrong with her.
Great, yeah, practitioners, raise your hand when you're ready.
Do you want me to show her? She's right on my lap, so I can show her.
Yeah, so some might look away. Go ahead. Maybe it's okay.
Do you want to say hi, girl? You want to say hi? Okay.
Go ahead, Susie.
Hey, Akasha. Um, I got very strongly that she is taking on some of your health issues, and her aggression comes from the fact of that's what I'm supposed to do. And you said you do Reiki?
Yeah, a bunch of different kinds of energy healing, but that's one of them.
Okay, whatever kind of energy healing that's most applicable to her, um, Reiki-fy her. Anytime you touch her, just send it to her. And she is taking on some of your health issues. I had a cat who took on tumors, and so it's like it took me a few years to figure that one out. But the uh, so Reiki fire as much as you can, whenever you can, and you know that when you're calling in the Reiki energy, it's going to work on you too. So that's the benefit there, is that as you're working on her, um, it'll work on you. The past life, I don't know if that one's as applicable, but there were some other ones. She had, what did you say? The ancient Rome one was when she was the dog, but she's got one from ancient. I was wanted to say Egypt, but now I'm saying Greece. So she's had several lifetimes as different animals. You have been connected with her in so many different capacities. Uh, and so she is very firmly tied to you in that respect. You could clear the cords. There's some cords to these past lives. So there are cords clearing that you can do, and use the Reiki to do that, because to me, Reiki can happen whenever and wherever. It's one of those easy modalities that as soon as you know it or get it, bang, you can do it. And you can do it remotely. You can send it back to these past lives and help them to resolve. What are the, it's going to take me a little while. I'll let somebody else talk while I sit there and look at the different lessons that she's got bringing forward with her. But she's been a very fierce guardian for you. And that's what she's doing now. So sending that gratitude, cutting the cords, and sending the Reiki to her, I think is going to help her shift a little bit. She doesn't feel like she's really ready to shift out of it, but it can happen. Yeah.
Thank you, Susie. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
One thing that's been curious is I've asked a lot of times about doing energy healing on her, and I get a no. When I ask her if she wants the healing, I get a lot of no's from her. So sometimes I'll just do it myself and like let the energy kind of overflow, or I'll send it like to her higher self or something like that, so she can use it when she wants.
It's from her conscious self. So you're right to go to her higher self. Sometimes I see that as circumventing, but golly, she is such a guardian for you. She's got this Bastet look about her. She's like really trying to pull it on for me. And I'm like, I know you're a kitty and you just showed us your butt walking off. So come on, girl. Just continue to offer it. And at some point, maybe explain to her. I use images. I have a dog, and I finally broke through my communication with him when I started sending him images. She's like, no, I'm beyond images. But it's like, look, we can help you. You are worthy. I think there's a sense of worthiness because she didn't protect you as fiercely in other lives. That's part of it. And just send it out to her. See if she accepts it. Understand it's your way of helping her to move forward and to help her to help you more. So you've got to angle it. It's like, what's the benefit for her so it can benefit you? Yeah, because she's caught up in this serious guardian cycle there.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
All right, great. In line, we've got Dr. Nadine, Dr. Donna, and then Karen in terms of answering questions, and Cynthia. And I'm getting ready to put in the chat who's in line with questions, those of you that are asking about that. Go ahead, Dr. Nadine.
Hey, Jen, how are you?
I'm doing well. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. So she's given a lot of information. I'm going to come at this from a different approach. And yes, she is working through a lot of your same issues, because the awareness for you is, how are you healing your own body? So instead of looking outside of you know, where do I go? Who's going to help treat me? Where I'm getting is that it's your higher self is calling on you to find the broken code in your DNA and heal that code within your own DNA. So it's about you stepping into your own healing of self. And when the question was, does she want a healing? She doesn't need a healing. She's fine. I mean, she's mirroring you, but she doesn't have the broken code within her body. And I've watched her 5 or 6 times walk by you, and she's come up to you and validated information 3 times now. So she's very much part of you. And the lesson really is, how can I heal myself? So I'm being asked for you to really look at your food, that there are things that the mind is saying, oh, I really want that. But on a cellular level, the cells don't know how to assimilate the nutrients. It's very nutrient starved of the food that's coming in. I'm also being asked for you to really look at your liquid and to look at how what you bring into the being, the vessel, is nourishing and nurturing a cell and your spirit, both of those 2 things. And to really throw out the knowledge and the belief structure of, what's the argument that I'm being shown? It's only one bite. It's just for this one occasion. What's the other one? We did it just for you. We made it just for you. All of those messages are out of time in many ways. They're out of alignment with where the path you're on right now. But they're out. You don't have time to go back and fix those broken messages. And so being able to just go, oh, thank you. Thank you. If somebody brings you, I'm just watching this triple truffle something another being handed to you, thank them, because whoever created that or bought it for you meant well from their side. And then walk into your kitchen, turn on the garbage disposal, turn on the water, and get the crap out of the house, right? You don't need to put that in your body. So that's one big piece of this. The other big piece that I'm watching on your body and the cat's body is your grounding cord is less than the size of your little finger right now. And a grounding cord is meant to siphon off the thoughts, the emotion, the out of balance, the wobble of the things that are not you. So as an example, if the message to self is, I really want to feel nourished, then, as I'm bringing nourishment into my being, then the grounding cord would then siphon off anything that's not in alignment with nourishment. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So
I actually I work with a grounding cord every day and every night, and I clear and I do healing on myself like every morning and every evening, and I'm like counting the fat grams I eat and gluten-free and organic, but I know I could improve it. I know I could definitely.
So where I'm being shown is take your grounding cord that you have right now, take it off, create a brand new one, and then give the command to the grounding cord to be 3 times larger than anything you're releasing.
Okay.
It's just too small. And so as you're releasing something, it's getting clogged, can't go out, right? So, Kitty's sitting right behind you. I'm watching her. She has dumped like 7 grounding cords. I was like, here, Mom, here, I'll show you how to do it. Boom. The other thing Kitty's telling is for you to ground your ovaries and your uterus at the same time. Regardless of you still have the body parts, somebody else needs this. Regardless of whether your human body still has ovaries and a uterus, ground your ovaries and ground your uterus. Energetically ground them and allow the things that have been sent to the human body. And I don't know who you are, but I know you're listening. the things that are coming into the body is in that second chakra, which holds the energy of the sacredness of you, the sensuality of you, the sexuality of you, the creativity of you, are so being asked to be nurtured. And others are throwing energy, which we're translating into, oh, my gut hurts, third chakra. It's really coming in on the second chakra right now, 2 and 5. So being able to speak the truth. And I'm just watching your kitty's like, she just dumped 2 more, she's over there working. It's like, hey, and she's twirling them around and she's having a blast with them. She's having fun. And it's like, don't be so serious. We got to get off the serious. Okay, so I'm going to shut my mouth now. Thanks. Bye.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
We've got Donna and Karen and Cynthia in line, and I've got a question I'm going to ask here in the middle. Do you have any early trauma with a male figure?
Probably. I had a pretty traumatic upbringing. My mother was an alcoholic. My father and mother split when I was 3. Physical abuse, neglect.
Yeah. In terms of just some of the traits that I see in your eyes, some of them are caused by trauma from a male figure. And so I'm just imagining that's part of the healing of this part of your body too.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, Donna.
You want me to go now?
Yes, please.
Oh, okay. Immediately when you came on the screen, before I even saw the kitty, it was like your room was just, I can't explain it to you except to say it was like full of energy, but not in a good sense, but like a heavy vibration type thing. And I was wondering, why that was. I mean, it just felt so strange to me. And so, and I noticed too that the kitty, when she was walking by you, was rather agitated and her tail was twitching. So 2 things. One is, when you do your Reiki, are you very careful to, after you finish your Reiki session, are you very, very careful to brush away anything that you absorb from that client, that you protect yourself before you do the Reiki, that you separate out and ask that all anything that came into you from that client is brushed away? Because if that's coming onto you and holding onto you, it can affect your body, and it can affect the aura, not aura, but the space around you. The second thing that I wondered about is, have you ever, whenever I do my healings for animals, the first thing I always, Nadine, Dr. Nadine's correct that they're perfectly capable of taking care of themselves, but sometimes they get overloaded. And with you doing your Reiki and having perhaps some like past whatever Laureli was talking about, she may be getting overloaded. So whenever I do my healings with my own animals, or my own client animals, the first thing I always do is I ground them and ask that all non-positive energies be taken to the center of the earth, transmuted into love. The second thing I do is ask that all of their chakras be spinning perfectly in a clockwise direction. And that includes their minor chakras. They have some of the same ones we do, but they also have like whisker chakras that are very sensitive. The nose chakra is very sensitive to incoming information that gets overstimulated. The other thing that you can ask is that their circuits and their meridians be cleared so that the energies can come in and out. You ask for their life force and their life vitality to be elevated. And you ask that they be balanced, left, right, left, anterior, posterior, anterior, as above, so below. So all of this, and put a pink cloud of protection and love around her, particularly anytime you're doing a healing with a client, so that she is also protected from whatever that client's bringing in. So, okay, then the last thing is, I was also shown some electromagnetic overload for her. So I'm wondering what you have in your house or outside. I don't know if you have a house or an apartment or.
I'm in an apartment, and I actually have been creating a lot of art on my computer, but I also have a TV, and then a phone. So it could be any of that.
Well, it can be your microwave. It can be leaving the lights on at night so that she's not unable to exist. You know, cats are night animals. They need darkness. So have all the lights turned off at night when you go to sleep. And that includes the screens from the TV and the computer. And again, you can clear that electromagnetic energy just by intending it to be cleared, or you can use like activated fluorite to clear it. Yeah, she's showing me that's unsettling her, that's just too much. And as far as her having her allergies or her shaky legs in the front, I think I'd have to defer to Dr. Nadine about that, because I don't know much about why she might have shaky front legs. I don't think that would have much to do with allergies, but the biting of the fur might, but the biting of the fur also could be this agitation that she's getting both from maybe the Reiki readings or the electromagnetic, whatever. I don't know, maybe Dr. Nadine can talk about that a little bit, but I would just try to take sage and sage your entire apartment, open the windows, the doors, say all negative energies, please leave, and try to maybe play very quiet, soothing music like harp music or flute music or something very quiet to try to bring a sense of soothing and peace in the room too. So I hope that helps.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Right,
I don't know if it's helpful for me to give any feedback or not after each person talks,
go
or
ahead
I'm
if
not
you're
sure.
brief. Yeah, go ahead if you want to be brief. Go ahead.
Sure. I do clear the space every night with a grounding tube from my actual place. And then I charge it and I put in a crystal grid and I work with protector guides and all of that. But I have wondered if there's more I need to be doing in terms of clearing. And sometimes I'll clear her, like I'll ground her as well when I'm doing the healing for myself. So it was helpful to hear that, because I don't necessarily always do that. And also I don't put anything around her when I'm working with people. I create like a sanctuary for us to work within. So I can start doing that for her.
Great. Karen and then Cynthia. Go ahead, Karen.
Hello. So trying to track through everything. I was pulling up that you guys do have many lifetimes together. Susy started to talk about ancient Egypt and I was like, oh, Egypt. And then she was like, I'm Greece. And I'm like, oh, I saw Egypt. I feel like there was a relevant lifetime there where she was really protecting you when you were very unsafe. And it feels like she's still reading that lifetime now. So it's very much like those cords do need to be severed, because she needs to be kind of reading you in this lifetime. And no matter how many times you're telling her that you're okay and you don't need her to take it on, she can't hear that right now. And I also came up with a couple other things I wanted to mention. I was getting energy leak. So, you know, there's a lot of energy around you and like the word declutter, and it doesn't feel like it's a physical decluttering of stuff so much as there's a clutter of energy all around you. So I don't know if you could literally like vacuum that energy out of your space and then maybe make that part of your practice of continually emptying it of all the residual. And then how is her eating?
She's, I actually switched her diet in the last 6 months. And so she eats like a half raw, half wild diet now. And it's been very good for her. She's like heartier, like thicker, you know, like she got stronger. And she mostly eats pretty well. I think every now and then when she's not feeling good, she won't eat much, but she mostly eats pretty well and wants to eat.
I could be totally wrong, but is there a potential that her diet right now doesn't provide her enough sugar?
I don't know. I'm not sure.
It might be something to test into, and to, you know, if you speak to the vet on her shakiness, I don't know if they could run blood panels or anything. That's obviously outside of my scope. So it's just something that I wanted to mention. might be something that's going on with her as well. Whether it's because there's so much energy around, and so she's running at a rapid rate, and so she needs that a little more sugar, and maybe with the diet switch, but that pinged for me a little bit.
Thank you.
Sure.
Cynthia. Thanks, Karen.
Hey, Coccia. What I saw was very similar to what the other panelists saw. So the first thing that I saw was a blue braided cord between you two. So that's obviously not just like a straight, simple cord, it's interwoven. So that would be something that you would want to ask to detangle between the two of you and release into the light. The second thing too was I wasn't so much picking up that she was angry with you or anything like that. I think that like that's your first reaction, but I would just tune in a little bit deeper and see what's underneath that first impression that you have, because I wasn't picking up on anger. And then lastly, two more things. I was also picking up on environment. There's something in your environment that's contributing to, I think, what, she has the rash or the biting or whatever. I think that if she's taking on your stuff, it's like, what are you not willing to receive, or what are you not reaching out for? And so how that's related to the environment is there might need to be some sort of, I know you detoxify and all that stuff, but one thing that I do that's pretty helpful is I turn off my Wi-Fi at night. Like I just unplug the entire Wi-Fi thing. Even though everyone uses it, it's like at least in your immediate space, it's not going to be there. So I think that could possibly help, but I would definitely look at the receiving thing, because, arms are about receiving and calling in and all that stuff. And so, as the other practitioner mentioned, you're good at like creating a new clean space and releasing stuff, but also receiving is about the energy flowing inwards and towards you, not just getting rid of. So remember, energy, it needs to be in motion, not just going in, one direction too. So that's what I got.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
And Cindy's next.
Okay, just quickly, Jen, the cat right now is like, I hope you're listening. Seriously, I hope you're listening. The first thing I got for you was an allergen of corn. Now, I don't know if she has corn in her diet or you have it in yours at all, but that seems to be something to maybe look at. She told me I'm dizzy and I'm itchy. And then she says, I'm the boss of you. In terms of family dynamics, that's something to look at for sure. Okay. And to clear a past life, a suggestion is to go over the past life with the cat and discuss it, and then say, we're living in a different lifetime now. We're in the present lifetime, and get recognition from the cat. As you say, you're an animal communicator, correct?
No, I'm not trained in it. I've done some like online courses, but that's not what I specialize in or do mainly.
What I'm saying to you is listen with your heart after you discuss the lifetimes with her, and just say, we're living now in the present moment. And those lifetimes are cleared immediately when you bring it to the present moment. That'll help her to step forward in the timeline of now with you, okay? And sound bowls come up for you. Do you have some of the singing bowls, the crystal singing bowls?
I don't, actually, I don't.
Okay, so I would recommend that you use those to help keep the energy clear after you've worked with your clients. And also to get into the practice of your soul light language. Do you know about that?
A little bit. Yeah,
Yeah.
just what I've, channeled or intuited myself.
Because inside you are frequencies that want to come out. Okay. And when you learn to work with light language that's coming through as you awaken as a soul, you'll see that you can shift energy around you just by singing and using the singing bowls and the light language. You don't have to do it loud, but just play with that and see if that doesn't help. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thanks so much, Akasha. And yeah, we welcome new practitioners on all of our events. So happy to chat with you about that.
Great. Thank you, everyone. I really appreciate it.
Welcome. All right, let's see. Next we have Jonah. Jonah, want to come up on video?
Yeah. Hi.
Let me go
You
find
got me?
video. Yeah. I'll put you up on the front there you are. Okay, great.
Mhm.
Great. What is your question?
Yeah. So I guess on the medical theme, I was wondering what's going on for me, well, medically, and it could be mentally, emotionally, physically, anything that you pick up on my well-being and what I can do to take care of it or to strengthen myself. Mm-hmm.
It's up to you if there's anything else you want to share, if it's really just a general question.
I guess just a general question. Especially, I trying to work on my mental health, having, kind of depression, some amount of maybe bipolar type issues, wondering where that's coming from or how to deal with it, and anything else that I'm not aware of. I guess I like to keep in case people pick up on important things. Yeah, I don't know if anything else will be useful, or people can ask questions if they want to.
Yeah, that's great. That's great.
Mm-hmm.
Cindy's got something. Go ahead, Cindy, and then Dr. Nadine.
Okay. Hi, Jonah. The first thing that jumps out for you is water. Are you drinking enough water?
Okay.
Now, are you drinking?
I could probably drink some more. Yeah. Like 70%. I'm only drinking 70%, I'm guessing, of what I could.
Okay. So the other thing that is also very helpful to remove things in your energy field that have been stuck on you for a while, like other people's emotions and just conflict within yourself, is to take a bath. Do you have access to a bathtub?
I do, yeah.
And then you would add 1 pound of sea salt. That's just regular sea salt. And
1 pound. Wow. Okay.
So you can get that at any supermarket. And 1 pound of baking soda.
Wow.
So it's not Epsom salts, they're sea salts. And you mix those two in the bathtub and you get in it. And you don't have to make the tub so full of water, just enough to cover you so you can flip over on both sides. And as you do that, okay, then you pull the plug. And when you pull the plug, you say, and you sweep your body, everything and everyone is off me now.
Okay.
And then you would take a normal shower. But when you finish and you get out of that bath, you will feel like, I always say it to my clients, $1 million. Because, we get a lot of people's energy stuck on us and it needs to be released. And so that was the first thing that came up, and I'll sit and let the other practitioners talk to you. But if I get anything else, I'll come back to you. Thank you.
Okay.
Thanks, Cindy. Dr. Nadine, and then Cynthia.
Hi, Jonah. So I'm going to piggyback on Cindy. Absolutely, number one thing was water in the system. And so when you say you're drinking 70% water, 128 ounces. So that's a gallon of water. And 64 of that needs to be just water. The other 64, you can put lemon, lime, chlorophyll. I'm just watching those. Cucumber. To hydrate the cells, I'm watching that the cells are super dehydrated. And in the dehydration, in the sucking in and the dehydration, it's taking whatever was a live wire and it's sucking the life out of the light wire, which is then causing your electromagnetic field to bounce, which is what you're describing as the bipolar manic, boom, 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 boom. The other part that I got was that the cells cannot absorb red, orange, and yellow. So if you're doing any type of, I'm going to use M&Ms right now because they're really easy to visualize, but your body could handle the brown M&Ms and the yellow M&Ms, but it couldn't handle, the red, orange, yellow, and blue, right? So you can do brown and green M&Ms, but like Doritos have orange and red on the Dorito. Your body cannot handle those colors, and they exacerbate whatever the chemical is that they're adding into the food dye. When it comes into the system, again, it's like, instead of sticking a finger in a light socket, it's like a 10-pronged fork, and everything in your body just starts going nutso bazazzo. And water will help demagnetize all of that. Water will help, for a better word, ground it out. But water's your friend. Water is flow, and water is personally how you manifest in your world, in your life. Water is how you release in your life. And so, that combo that Cindy gave you of the sea salt, it's an amazing stripper of emotional Klingons. I mean, when she says you'll feel like $1 million emotionally, it'll blow your mind how different a Epsom salts bath and a sea salt bath will feel in your body. Okay. There was one other piece here that came through and it just went, oh, here's the other piece. So, and again, Cindy put this on the table already. You can put a gauge up that says like a little digital from 1 to 100. And in the moment, ask how much of this, whatever this is mine. And be amused, because predominantly not a lot of it's going to be yours. And I like to take it, this is me, you know how you take somebody who's talking a lot and it's like whack, 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 and you can take them and squish them down to their little tiny, you know that one? Squish them down is like, so you ask the question, how much of this behavior is mine? Is like, oh, well, 3% is mine. So I'm going to squish down the 97% and then blow it away. Easy. And you can do it while you're out driving. You can do it when you're out walking in the street. Squish, 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 blow it away. Okay. Good tool.
Okay.
Clarifying with the colors, are you saying eat green vegetables, like eat eggplant, eat blueberries, things like that?
I would watch the eggplant if you're a nightshade, can't handle nightshade. But typically in a body, anybody who's dealing with bipolar, manic, depressive, it's a combination. The body cannot process red chemicals, red, orange, and yellow chemicals, blue. So there's another one, Gatorade, that where they put the blue coloring in, body can't handle it. But you can handle the natural. So blueberry, blackberry, boysenberry, that's natural. Red peppers, pomegranate, apples, the body can handle that. Yellow peppers, yellow squashes, the body can handle that. It's just the chemically enhanced.
The chemical colors. Yeah.
The body can't do it. Again, there's somebody else on here with little children, and you're wondering how come your little children are not themselves. Look at the food. And it's not the natural food. It's what I'm going to call junk food, the crap food that has zero nutrition in it whatsoever.
And I want to clarify, because you didn't say it, the gallon, it's 16 cups, that's per day.
Per day. Yeah. Per day.
Great.
So what's really lovely is to, I saw you with a cup, you keep it by your kitchen sink or your bathroom sink. And so when you wake up, in the morning, first thing you do, 8 ounces. You go to the bathroom, 8 ounces. You know, it's 10 o'clock, 8 ounces. Oh, it's 11 o'clock, 11:30, 8 ounces. It's like, that's you don't have to do 32 in one shot. You're doing, there you go. Just so that you're keeping that flow. We want flow. And somebody's asking, well, won't I pee a lot? Initially, your body, because you've super hydrated, you're going to notice you'll go to the bathroom a lot the first couple days. After your body gets used to that 128, it's like, wow, I haven't gone to the bathroom in a while, because your system is using what you're putting in.
Mhm.
It's a whole different come from, because you're nurturing what your body needs.
And there was
Okay.
a question about distilled water. Is it better to, like, what kind of water to drink? Does it matter?
The one that tastes really good to you. So some people like to drink tap water. Some people like distilled water. Some people like boiled water, hot water, cold water. I'm going to go for the one you're going to drink. The one you're going to drink. Because if you go out there and you spend $1,000 on this really wonderful distilled water, and it's still sitting over there across the room, then you just wasted $1,000 on really awesome water. So whatever the water is you're going to drink.
Great, thank
I
you.
like distilled, but you know, that's me. A little chlorophyll, dude, a little chlorophyll. So, you know, when you look at the bottle of Bernard Jensen chlorophyll, it'll say tablespoon. It's too much for you right now. So, you know, maybe 1/4 of a tablespoon in a gallon of water, and it's going to be just lightly green. So it's enough of the chlorophyll in that water that your cells, after that sea salt bath, wow, you put that chlorophyll in and your cells, I'm watching you, you're going to be dancing around the house. Put some clothes on, you know, and you're sliding across the room on your socks, because your cells are going to be doing the happy dance, the happy Jonah dance. Can y'all hear him? Yeah, you're great. Awesome. Okay, I'm out.
Thank you.
Cool.
We've got Cynthia and Donna.
Hi, Jonah. So what I got for you, like, was I saw that there was like something missing with the connectivity. And so 2 of the other practitioners mentioned water, but what I was getting is, I was wondering if you're getting enough fats in your diet. Like, I heard fish oil, so I don't know if you're doing too much or the wrong one, but definitely there's something with adding more oils or fats into your diet that would really help with everything just moving a little bit better. And next, I feel that your teeth are a little, like your jaw, it just feels like a little bit like raw. So I don't know if you want to, if you need to like floss more or, you know, something, but like, it just feels like your gums are inflamed or something. Does that resonate?
I just had a deep cleaning of them, like a whole
Okay.
dental thing.
Maybe it's that, yeah, because I was like, oh wow, there's a lot of sensations right there. I'm trying to think what else, but yeah, I mean, that was pretty much all I was picking up on. And then I just saw like this image of like these light bulbs around your head, but I don't really know what that means.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's all I got for you.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Thanks, Cynthia. All right, Donna.
Hi, I just wanted to add with my Lakota healing traditions, to add to Cindy's salt bath. Might I suggest that you go to the store and buy fresh sage, or better yet, if you have fresh, I don't know where you live, if you have fresh sage plants out on the plains or whatever, that you bring in some fresh sage and put it in that bath water. Sage is amazingly clearing, soothing, and it will just add to all of the good stuff that Cindy was talking about. And the only other thing I wanted to mention to you was 2 things that a lot of people don't realize affects their outlook on life, I would say. One is make sure that you have sufficient vitamin B12. It's really important for keeping you I want to say not non-depressed, but keeping you up. And the other thing is vitamin D. Vitamin D has receptors on every single organ in your body. Every cell has vitamin D receptors, and without good enough vitamin D levels, you just make everything in your body, I don't want to say depressed, or at least susceptible to not working as well as they could. So vitamin B12 and vitamin D. So other than that, that's all I have to offer you. But I hope you feel good, feel better.
Mhm.
Thanks, Donna. We have Susie and Karen next.
Hey, Jonah.
Mhm.
All the physical stuff they said, yes, please do that. And yeah, I'm on vitamin D and B12 myself. But what I was also saying is that Cindy was saying to question whose energy it was. So say you wake up in the morning and you can make this statement that you reclaim your energy and send back other people's energy to them. So you are establishing a boundary that it's only your energy with you. And also,
Okay.
yeah, I don't have any florid sort of statements for it. That's what I do when I'm just waking up, is like, I call back all my energy and anybody else's is there, go away. That's just before coffee. There's also, it feels that you do, that you've got a lot of contracts that you've agreed to during dream time that you don't need to. So that would be another thing you
Hmm.
could say, not only calling back your energy, but if you have made any contracts or agreements in dream time that are not in divine alignment with you, they're null and void.
Mhm.
I like doing that. That's, yeah, energetically, that's what I've got for you. Good luck.
Okay. I'm not remembering my dreams very well. Anyway, I don't know if you have a thing or if that's typical. That's maybe another topic a little bit, but
Well, I don't remember my dreams either, and
Mhm.
so I'm not the person to talk to. When I
Okay.
do, they're kind of like, okay. So
Yeah.
I know I go out and they're like, yeah, don't, because I tend to get in the way with my dreams, trying to you know tell them no, but I want to do that, and I've got guides going, nope, nope, we need you over here. So I'm sure somebody else can speak to that. But yeah, hang in there.
Okay.
You're
Okay.
all
Thank
right.
you.
Thanks,
Mhm.
Susie.
Yeah.
We've got Karen, and then Cindy has another quick bit. Go ahead, Karen.
Hey, Jonah. So
Mhm.
tapping into your energy, I'm seeing a lot of like these black blobs, I'm going to call them, in your energy field. And I do agree, I forget who it was that said it at this point, I'm sorry, about really clearing everything that's not yours, because there's a lot of interference that's being held in your field that just needs to be cleared out. So even just taking a deep breath and then forcefully exhaling in all directions around your body with the intention of pushing out everything that isn't yours, and make it something that is a quick practice that you can do repeatedly. And then also when you're going to bed at night, almost envisioning that you're creating like a little, like a net around your energy field to only allow in what's going to be in alignment with you. Because it does feel like you're taking on some stuff during dream time, potentially even astral traveling and bringing things back with you that you're not intending, and may not be aware of. And it's almost like it's leeching onto that. And then I was also seeing like this state of like the depressed state, and then things come up, but you're unable to hold it at this level, and then you go back down. So I don't know if you have any diagnoses. I don't know what the deal is, but it's like I'm seeing this bouncing back, and I'm just wondering what your lifestyle is. If you're seeing any sort of patterning with when you're feeling low versus when you're feeling high, whether it's diet or activity, or who you're around in a day, and are you taking on things from them in any given day? Is it times of the day that you're feeling better than other times of day. Those would all be things to track and just maybe even make note of. And then you want to focus on where you're feeling better rather than where you're feeling low, and kind of, you know, try to clue yourself into those habits or places or whatever, whether it's exercise or fresh air or, you know, whatever it is where your energy is able to sustain a higher vibration. You want to bring more of that into your life.
Okay. I've definitely tried to be aware, and I don't have easy ones. The biggest ones I can think of are just exercise and doing creative work seem to be, you know, more on the plus side of things. And a lot of stuff I can't really tell how frequently, or, you know, I just kind of do my best to keep going, but it definitely feels like there's stuff in my way, you know, stuff dragging me down that's unnecessary.
Yeah, clearing first is going to be huge for you, and then start really tracking that way then, and making the notes, and when you're feeling good, what's going on. And I have to tell you, when you said about the creative stuff, it was like your whole field went woo, like you really lit up. So that's a really big clue.
Okay. 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 Good. Good.
All right, and Cindy's got something else.
I just have one last tip. And as I was listening to your soul with Source, what I heard was to remind you about gratitude. Okay. And so before you go to bed, and the first thing that you say when you wake up, this is from Source, say, I am grateful that I am healed, whole, and healthy. Again, it's, I am grateful that I am healed, whole, and healthy. And I hope that helps you. Thank you.
Okay.
It's great. Yeah, and I encourage you about the creative expression. You can just incorporate that in little bits throughout the day, just all kinds of ways, like letting your hand, right, dance and whatever, playful, creative, you know, anything.
Okay. Okay. I normally think of like doing things with media, but I guess, you know, I guess I could do some other
I just say, yeah,
movement or imagination.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Picking up the leaves. Yeah, you're outside. I think you're outside a bunch. Picking up the leaves and arranging the leaves in a particular way on the ground. Like, it can be anything.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay.
All right. Thank you so much, Jonah, for your question.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you all. Yeah. Thank you.
All right. Next we have Verna. Come on up, Verna.
Okay, I wrote it down because it felt complicated to ask it, but what is my role as the youngest daughter of 3 in helping my father since he had a heart attack and a pacemaker put in, and a diabetic event last week, and now he has a cold, and he's here in Seattle. I'm in Everett, but he's in Seattle, staying at my oldest sister's. So yeah, I just I'm feeling really powerless. And I know that in some ways I am, but in other ways, I really would like to help myself so I can help him, if that makes sense, and how I can do both. So yeah, that's pretty much it. And I don't have an animal question, although yeah, I don't have a Yoda question today. But if you get anything for him, feel free to share it. Thanks.
Great. All right, Cindy's ready. Go ahead, Cindy.
Hi, Verna. Okay, so the first thing that your dad says to me is, I'd like you to read to me. So you can do it over the phone or Zoom. And he'd like just to hear your voice, and you can read anything to him, like whatever you're interested in. Just like, parents love to know what their kids are thinking. And he just wants to hear your voice, and
Okay.
that to let you know that he deeply cares about what's going on with you. And it can be, he's saying it can be a childhood story that maybe he read to you, or it can be something, much more intellectual, if you want to talk about something. But he says, please, no politics.
Okay.
Thank you.
Sounds like him.
Great. My sense is that your sisters want you to take care of you too. Yeah.
Yeah.
So they know that you want to participate, and they appreciate that you're prioritizing caring for you so you can show up for him.
Yeah.
Who else has something for Verna? Go ahead, Susie.
Yeah, Verna. I feel like it's the sound of your voice that he wants. So I know talking to people who are not doing well, you're like, well, so how's your day? And that can just, I know for me it gets awkward because, but I love the idea of reading to him, actually finding out what kind of books he might like. I feel like a mystery would be cool, stuff
Mhm.
like that. And however you do it, whether it's through Zoom or whether it's through just over the phone, that's fine. But you actually have quite a soothing voice, and I think that would help him reconnect with what he's about.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I've got.
Great. And we've got Dr. Nadine and then Cynthia.
Hi, Verna. So I seem to be the kid who comes from things from different
One moment. Verna was
approaches.
trying to say something, so I wanted to, Verna, did you want to?
No, I was saying hi.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Dr. Nadine.
So youngest child. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. So everybody else has a role, right? And they've had a role all their lives. And the oldest feels like they have to be the caregiver, and they're going to control the entire situation. The middle child feels like they have to be the peacemaker between the forward and the back. But the youngest gets to look at the big picture. And as the youngest looking at the big picture, it's like, wow, if this was me, what would I enjoy? Right? How can I bring play and fun and laughter and the youngness, the aliveness, the jokes, the I keep getting play, right? The prankster, though you're not going to do a prank, but you understand that energy is different than the first child, right? The first child is definitely going to wear the role of responsibility. And I'm not seeing that as your role. So, in this part of if this was me, if I was going through his same thing, what would I enjoy? And start doing that for yourself, right? For yourself. And there's another piece here. I used teddy bears a lot, but it's talking to the spirit of the other person. And if you feel very comfortable just connecting spirit to spirit, start really talking on a spirit level. If you don't know how to do that, get something that represents dad and start talking to the stuffed, because the message will go to dad.
Okay.
Is that making sense? So you have a conduit, right? And there's things that I'm just getting that you want to say it. Say it to the bear, say it to the air, say it to the living room. And there's things you want to hear. Say it out loud. I never heard this from you. I need to hear this from you. All of that on an energetic level will clear the space so that when you are there in person, it's like you've already had the conversation and the doors are open and welcoming, right?
Okay.
I'm not seeing that your role is the caregiver right now. It's just not, that's not the role.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
hmm
Okay.
Yeah, I don't, I, like I was saying, I can barely take care of myself. So in a way, so, trying to caretake anybody else right now is just not in my wheelhouse.
No. So, but is play in your wheelhouse?
Yes.
Is going for a fun walk, is putting on a big red bow tie and a big red nose just to giggle. Is that in your wheelhouse? Right?
Yeah.
Is you walking outside and putting your toes on grass right now in your wheelhouse? So it's the young, I'm seeing you as like this two-year-old, 3-year-old, and just like, daddy, the playful part, the joyful part. That's the energy for you to be in, for you, right? He's got enough people caring for him, for you to be in this place of, wow, what can I do for me that lightens my spirit, lifts my spirit? And I don't remember what the words were at the beginning, but it was something to do with laughter and joy and play and lightheartedness. That's where you're sucking all of that in right now. So yay.
Yeah.
Okay. Does that feel good?
Yes. Thank you.
I'll be complete.
Cynthia and Dr. Donna.
So what I was really picking up for you, Verna, is do you have like a really nice healing touch?
I think so, but I don't know.
Yeah, I think that your superpower is you're just like a warm, loving person, and that was coming through so strongly. So I think that if you were to give yourself more hugs, you would feel better. And also to, if you were to just massage your dad's feet, just to make sure that the energy circulates, right? So like all the stuff that meds, whatever he's on, it needs to fully circulate through the whole body. So make sure that, just kind of squeezing the feet a little bit of massage is going to make sure that like nothing gets trapped and everything is flowing throughout the body. And that's going to be pretty low impact on you. And just kind of, giving him a nice long hug, that's going to be as healing for him as it is for you. And just being really, just doing natural human stuff, just hugging and, little squeezes, stuff like that. That's going to, I think, make you both feel a lot better.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Right, Dr. Donna.
Hi, dear.
Hi.
The first thing is kind of out a little bit, and I don't know where you are in the spectrum, but I was told to ease you to be able to understand or have faith in that Archangel Raphael, who comes in medical crises, is with your dad at all times. So he's there helping to heal. And then just so you know that Archangel Michael, the other people are talking about joy, and Archangel Michael is with your dad too, and he is the keeper of joy. He brings joy to the person that he's around, and he protects what is right and just. So those two archangels are surrounding your dad at all times and bringing him peace and on a spiritual level, not necessarily, but the other thing that I wanted to tell you was that I picked up that your dad just feels tired, okay, and he's not necessarily just physically, medically tired, but he's tired of trying to be perky around other people, trying to put on a good face, because your sisters are taking care of him and he's trying to act like, oh, thank you for that. You know, that really made me feel better, when he really isn't. So he was telling me that he feels with you being the youngest, that he can totally relax with you, that he feels comfortable with you. He doesn't have to put on a jolly face for you. He can just be himself, and that you won't get upset, you know, if he's not perky. And the other thing that I was told is, when you're talking with him, is to ask him for stories, ask him to tell you stories, not both of when he was younger and the family, but also of when you were younger, maybe things that you've forgotten that happened, that were, you know, that you shared and were meaningful to him and to you. So ask him to tell you some stories of the olden golden days, as they say, because elderly people really like to go back and rehash. They've got nobody to talk to. There's nobody left that understands or remembers what they experienced. And I can speak to that, if I may say so. I just had my 80th birthday last week, and there's nobody.
Happy birthday.
I have my little vignettes of everything that happened, but I got nobody. I mean, I can tell people, but they're like, yeah, right, okay, you know, that wasn't my life. So if you can allow him to share and bring up those little knots on his string of life to share with you, I'm sure he would find great pleasure in that. And maybe you could just keep a journal of what he tells you for the family history, you know, generational history. So I hope that helps. I know it's really hard to take care of an elderly parent. I've been there and I understand. It's just, sometimes it's heartbreaking, but also know that everything that you do is adding to his well-being in your way, in the way that you can help him. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Uh-huh.
All right. Anyone else? Anything for Verna? Thanks, Verna.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks, everybody.
And next we have FNCF member. Where are you? Ah, there we go. Great. What is your question?
Well, I have an animal question that feels very, very strange, but there's so many experts on here and so little judgment. So I thought I'd just give it a shot. I have a question about dogs. So a little bit of background is I'm active in dog rescue. I've fostered over 100 dogs through my house. I lost my heart dog 2 years ago. I still have 2 dogs, and I have 2 more dogs coming to me. And they came to me in my dreams and let me know that they're waiting for me. And my question is more specifically about when they're going to be here, because my 2 remaining dogs, this is my eldest, he's 14, and then my youngest is 12, and those are pretty long lives for dogs to live. And I'm facing in about 4 or 5 years here a life without any dogs in my life, but I know these 2 are coming, and so I'm kind of more curious about if anybody could get an idea of, am I looking at 2 years? Am I looking at 12 years? One of them is they're both older female dogs. One's a Staffordshire Pit, and one's actually she's a Mastiff, a bull Mastiff, and she's a very bright yellow, and her ears were cropped really poorly upon puppyhood, and so she's like doesn't have any ears. And so I know them when I see. I'll know them when I see them I'll know who these dogs are when I meet them. But I'm also on the fence about adopting another dog right now who was unexpected. So I'm just kind of wondering if there's any idea of, if anybody could get an idea of what kind of timeline I'm looking at as far as waiting for these girls to come along.
Go ahead, Cindy.
Okay, so the first thing that I heard, are you ready for this? I'm glad you're sitting down. 2 months and 7 days. So that's soon. Are you ready for a new animal? This
Oh
quick?
yeah. What? Oh yeah. Well, the two girls coming, absolutely, yeah. And if my heart dog comes back, she's absolutely welcome in her own time if she ever comes back. But yeah, I can have pretty much as many dogs as I want. They're all different.
Okay, so as an animal communicator, a piece of advice that I would give you to share is to ask the other dogs in your family when they're ready to have the new members join the family. Remember, it's all one big family, and if you already have a dog in mind and one comes your way, definitely show the picture of the animal to your other animals that are in your family and get their opinion. Now, are you able to listen and hear their messages?
Yeah, actually, my oldest dog here, the 14-year-old, he was bonded to my princess, and he's the only his job is to help these foster dogs and teach them the ropes. And
you know what he says? I see him too.
Oh, great. Oh, really? Okay.
So what I'm getting at is really you utilize your skills as an animal communicator with your current pets and really have discussions. It's one thing to ask us, but it's another thing to really delve deeply into the kind of family situation that you want to co-create going forward, because it is a commitment of everybody's energy going forward. And the dog that you just showed us the picture of is definitely can help you along those lines. And do you also ask that dog that you just showed us how to handle the other dogs that you take care of in your capacity?
Probably in a way, yes. But I just listen. I don't have to. I don't really have to ask because I follow his lead.
Exactly.
When I walk in with a new foster dog and he just does what he needs to do, and I watch, I follow his lead.
Perfect. So I applaud you that you are actually realizing that he is your teacher in this lifetime, big time. And if you want to develop those skills more, I have certification program, that you might find very helpful to fine tune those skills. But going forward, keep doing what you're doing, okay? And really, really have a deep conversation telepathically with the elder dog, okay? And do you know how to do remote viewing?
I want to just can move on to the next practitioner.
Sure.
Great. Yeah, someone else has something to share with FNCF. Go ahead, Donna.
This is just I find this very amusing, but the two older females, I saw them on a back porch wooden swing, and they were swinging back and forth, and they said, we're just biding our time. So they're in no hurry. They know it's going to happen. and they're very relaxed and very, what's the word I learned? Adaptive to what's coming. So they have no worries about it at all. They're, they're just saying, they were saying, that old saying, one's fine, two's company, three's a crowd, and they're saying, no, we make that four. Four is never a crowd. Four is a family. Okay, so I think everything is going to work out just perfectly well. And you're very experienced in this. You know all the signs and the what needs to be done. So yeah. Do you have their names? I'm getting Beatrice or Beatrice something something like that, but I get one of them is. I don't know what the other one is. But
I don't know the dark one's name. I know she's very patient. And then the yellow mastiff might be Mia.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, wow. So exciting. Good for you, dear. Thank you for what you do.
Thank you. Yeah, anyone else? Or we can quickly go back for that last bit from Cindy. Yeah, anyone else? Great, Cindy, if you wanted to follow up with that last bit you were saying about remote viewing, I think.
You can ask your eldest dog, to remote view and help you to locate the animals at the perfect and divine timing for the family. That's all I was going to say. Thank you.
Thanks, Cindy. Yeah. You said it was a simple question, so yeah. All right. Thank you so much for your question.
But it sounds like Rex might get a chance to. Rex is 14, so maybe he'll get a chance to meet him in this life. Either that, or he'll be right by me when I meet them in the next one. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome. I'm just checking if anything else. Okay, great. Thank you. All right. And next we have, and we're going to see if we can fit two more in. We've got Quest, and then we have Kristen. So Quest, you're next. Where is Quest? Quest had bounced out one time. Let me make sure Quest is still here. Yeah, Quest is here. Hey, Quest, you're up. Oh, Quest, are you ready? Come on, Quest. Giving Quest a moment, and then after that it would be Kristen, if Quest isn't ready. All right, Quest, write in the chat if you're having trouble with technology, but I think you're not there at the device at the moment. All right, Kristen, let's jump to Kristen. Are you ready? I know you are up close to the front. All right, what is your question?
Hi, I have a question about my little dog, Otis. This is him. I hear him. Oh, there we go. Can you see him well? He's about 5.5 or 6, and he started having some it seemed like an injured limb or something, pain a couple years ago. It was pretty severe, went away, and he's very active and very playful. And then he had a recurrence maybe in April this year, similar, a lot of pain. And he's been at different vets, and right now he's he was on a lot of medication, including tranquilizers, and to reduce his activity so he could heal. But we saw a neurologist, a specialist, and he thinks that we should try to reduce his medication little by little to try to identify if he is really as bad as the other vets thought he was. And we've been doing that. And he does seem to be like pretty much the same with or without medication, but better. I guess because he's also been less active. And I guess he's very playful. He would go to the park, play with other dogs, run and jump. So yeah, his activity has been curtailed. And when he's not on any medication, he seems super playful and ready to get back into action. But we don't want him to re-injure himself, and also want to know kind of what's really going on. And he's very needy. He's very emotional, very loving. And at the same time, I'm also having a lot of physical problems, mobility issues. I just had one surgery in May. I'm having another one in a little over a week, and I may need yet another one. So I'm also wondering if this is related, if he's absorbing my energy, and how you can help us.
Yeah, thanks for your big, really relevant and covers all of what we're talking about question. Dr. Nadine, go ahead.
Hi, what's his name again, Kristen?
Otis, O-T-I-S, and
Okay.
I call him Odie.
Okay, that's what I see is Odie. So have you ever been sitting too long and all of a sudden the glute muscles tighten up and then a nerve gets pinched and then there's pain that radiates down your leg? Have you ever had that? It's called sciatica. Okay.
Yeah, yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
so what he showed me first is that the ligaments are tight. They're dry, number one, but they're tight. And so when he goes to move, they, instead of elongating and stretching the way they would normally do, they're so tight. And then if he runs too fast or too much, it's a strain. It's a ligament strain. So two things is definitely the boy needs some more oils in his body.
Okay.
Definitely needs more oils in his body. I put
Like
this
fish
on
oil?
Fish oils. Yeah, there's I'll see if I can find the link again. We did this before, Laureli. It was from chewy.com. It's called Omega E's, something like that. But it's a really lovely combination of fish oils. And joint wise, the boy definitely needs that. From a food perspective, if you're interested, get him off of dry food and onto raw. That'll help him with his joints. But the other part that was number one is to help him stretch. So if you're holding, let's say you have your hand under his belly, you can take the hind leg and just very slowly stretch that hind leg, a count of 1, 2, 3, release it. Put your other hand under his belly, pull that back leg, 1, 2, 3, release it. Put your hand up, take the front leg up, 1, 2, 3. So it's a very slow stretch, but he just needs to be stretched a lot.
Wow.
And I'm definitely, the sooner you get him stripped off of the chemicals, I would say get him off the chemicals. There's one more piece, and I know this is coming fast, but there's one more piece, is to ask him, Odie, what color do you need inside to have, it's not just being pain-free. There's another thing he's grabbing onto, but whatever the cause for having, quote, the medicine, what color do you need in your cells that would allow you to have that thing? I'm missing a word here, so pardon me as I bump around, but like right now he's showing me like a celery green. And so you offer him the celery green color, he puts it in his body, he puts it down all the cells, he's receiving from a higher vibration, 9th dimension, he's receiving what he needs, but it's not chemically enhanced. It's vibration. It's vibration. And I'm being told you can do the same thing for you. Right? You. So he's great that he's your focus. Is he healing you? No, I don't get that. He's on his own little journey, but you sure can learn from him, because there's things that I'm seeing you are not doing for yourself that you could be doing for yourself, and stretching is one of those.
Okay.
Right? Okay, that's what I have.
Thanks, Doug.
Thank you. Oh, are you saying that celery green is something he needs, or?
It's the color. When I ask him, hey,
Oh,
so what color do you need right now? Would you enjoy having in your cells right now? He's like pops it. So I think we've talked about that on this call before, is animals will give you images, right? They're very good about telling stories and images. And so he just put a whole bunch of celery in front of me. So celery green. And then it's just like he literally right now is he's actually wearing a cape. So he's got the emerald, the celery green everywhere, but he's wearing his cape and he's flying his freedom color. You know, he's got like a paw up front. He's very cool in his little cape. But it's a really easy question to ask. What color do you need right now? What color do the cells you need right now? So when I said, you know, he's being your teacher, but you can ask yourself, body, what color do I need right now to help, you know, with this lump I have in my stomach? And whatever color pops, the first one that pops in, oh, great. Take a big handful of it, put it on top of your head. It comes in and it'll go right to that spot in your cells, that your cells are wanting a different vibration than what they're getting right now.
Wow. Okay.
And
that sounds great.
It's fast and it's easy, right? So you don't have to go memorize 12 steps, right? It's a quick question. Body, what color do I need right now? And I'm not talking going finding food. I'm talking the color, just the vibration of the color. Bring that color into your body. Okay.
Like physically on top of it.
I grab like a big handful and I put it on my head, and I like spiky hair. So I like, you know, get it in my hair. So I got my spike going. And then all of a sudden it comes in your crown chakra and it dumps down to the 6th, 5th. And the moment it hits the chakra, it blasts it out through the skin. So it's going to go top to bottom, out through the skin, out your eyes, out your ears, out your nose, out your fingers, out your toes, and it's going to fill in that aura around you so that you are, no matter how you turn, you're absorbing the color that your higher self said you need right now in this minute to bring your body up to a higher vibration.
Okay. That sounds great.
So thank him, right? That he's flying. And he's cracking me up. It's like he's got one paw out here and one up here with his cape flying on celery green. God, these animals are cracking me up.
And
I'm going, and I'll get that link and put it out here.
I'll put it in the chat.
Oh, thank you.
You did? Okay, cool. Thanks.
Thanks so much.
Great. We've got Karen and Dr. Donna. Go ahead.
So when I was connecting into Otis's energy, I got this sense of like moving through water. Like all of his senses are dulled right now, and he's not happy with that. He wants off of the medication. He wants to be able to like feel and see and connect with all the things around him. And it's like this, it's blocking him from being able to do that. And it feels like he wants off of that. I think Dr. Nadine said flow, and that's what I was picking up as well, that there really needs to be more flow. I was actually getting like massage. So in addition to the stretching, and Dr. Nadine, you can let me know if you agree with this, but I think like a massage on the legs as well would be very, very helpful. And And I know, and I don't know too much about it, I know Young Living has like a pet line.
Oh,
And
okay.
I don't know if there's an oil in there that might be good for just massaging on him, because it's specific for pets so that they're pet safe, because not all oils are pet safe. But it was really like just there's definitely like a block in the flow. And so like the injury isn't as bad as perhaps it's perceived to be. But that's the propensity of the re-injuring of the tuning forks. Yes, that's a great idea. Yes.
Cool.
But just really kind of just trying to open those channels back up and allow for everything to kind of flow through. And he really wants to be much more active.
Do you guys think he could go back to the dog park, or is that too much at this time? Yeah.
I would start doing the things first.
Okay.
Personally, that's my feel on that. But then yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay. Thanks.
If you want to get the indication that the stretching of his muscles is going really well and that he seems more able to like move around well without being around the other dogs, because I didn't get so excited when he's around them. So go ahead, Dr. Donna.
Thank you.
Dr. Donna, go ahead.
Hi.
Hi.
Could I just follow up with what Dr. Nadine suggested about the omega E's? She suggested it last time I was with her, and I got some, and it's amazing. My coon kitty, my main coon kitty was adopted, had a raggedy coat and kind of not putting on weight. And I've been using that twice a day, and he's just blossomed, and he's losing the old fur right and left. It's flying all over the house as he replaces his new shiny coat. So thank you, dear, for suggesting that. But I can't, I'm not trying to sell it, but I can't, I just really think it's great. The other thing I wanted to mention is two things. One is about the color, and she was mentioning about the celery green. There's two things that I saw. One is, colors in and of themselves have a vibrational energy. So you can easily just intention that you're going to send the vibrational healing energy of celery green or emerald green. I use iridescent silver green in every reading that I do, but just any one of those, just intention in your mind each day that you're sending that vibrational healing energy of that particular color to him. And obviously he's made clear that he needs that greenish color. The other thing you might try, but I don't know how picky he is, but if you can get some organic fresh spinach and chop it really, 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 really fine where he can't see it or maybe even taste it, and mix it in with his food so that he's getting some of that.
He loves broccoli and asparagus.
Go for it. Yeah. I mean, not too
Okay.
much. It might hurt his tummy, but if he can, that's great. That'd be and the last thing is that just so that you understand that dogs really live through their noses. Their noses are like 10,000 times more able to sniff things. And as you well know, they can sniff out drugs, and now they can sniff out cancer in people and so forth. So they live and just people don't understand when they keep them in an apartment that they need to be, like you said about going to the dog park. You can take them without letting them run, flat out. But it tickles me every morning, no matter how much I know that my little Shih Tzu has to piddle out there. When I let him out, he goes out the door, and then he just stands there, and a whole minute or a minute and a half, and he's just like checking the news, and then finally he goes and does stuff. So they really live really intensely through their noses. So he needs to be outside, which you are. They do take him out, but not in a hurried way. Allow him to be out and not on your schedule for a walk or anything. Let him how fast he's going to go, where he's going to sniff, what he's doing, and let him absorb those smells that he needs to be a dog. You know, we can go into the spiritual and the energy, but he's still a dog. So it'll help. Okay.
Thank you.
And I
Thanks
hope
so much.
Yeah, I hope he heals perfectly.
Thanks.
Thanks, Donna. We got Cynthia next.
Okay, so I don't think you're gonna like what I have to say, but I keep asking and I keep getting the same answer. So I'm hearing that your dog has a brain tumor. But I mean, information is power, right? So, because at first I felt something right here and I thought that like maybe he had a head injury for the skull, but then brain tumor came up and it's pressing on his skull, which is like affecting his jaw on this side. And then it's like going all the way through here and then to his back right leg. So everything that everyone else said is correct, but the origin is something right here.
You're right. I don't like that.
I'm asking, and I'm like, I don't want to say
No,
it.
I
feel like bad not saying
I
it.
saw you out of the corner of my eye shake your head a bunch of times. So I'm like, oh no.
No. That's actually when I stare at an animal, like I start healing it. And so that's like the energy moving from the animal, not me disagreeing, but I kept
okay.
over and over again. And when I stare at an animal, that's how my healing energies get activated. So I did start a healing process around that, but I think it's worth, looking into or getting like a second opinion. I don't know if anyone else wants to weigh in, but maybe it just feels like a tumor or something, but it's definitely brain putting pressure. And then it's a skeletal thing, which obviously affects like the muscles and things like that. But I'm getting that that's the root.
Is that anyone? Sorry, I appreciate your opinion and I respect your knowledge.
Yeah. I want to be wrong, by the way.
What?
I want to be wrong, by the way.
Yeah, I want you to also. Is anyone else getting that? I'm just wondering. Okay. All right. Well, thank you all. I really appreciate it. And I'm going to go with a very positive, hopeful pathway in my mind. So thanks.
You're welcome. Thanks so much for sharing your question, letting us share with you.
Thanks.
All right. And I know that some of the practitioners have to go. We have one more question I'm attempting to get in. Cynthia, go ahead Cindy, go ahead and share about yourself, and then Karen. And we've got one more question I want to get to, whoever can stay. So go ahead, Cindy.
Okay, I just want to say thank you to everyone who's been listening. And I'm Cindy McGonagle, and I'm an animal communicator and a psychic medium. And you can find me on my website, which is my name, cindymcgonagle.com. I have animal certification courses that you might find valuable as you expand your role, understanding messages from your pets. And I am also found, and you can look on the chat at Instagram and in Clubhouse. And again, it's been such a pleasure to offer you what came through from your pets and from your guides and angels. And if I can help you, I'm here for you. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Cindy. Go ahead, Karen, and then Dr. Nadine, and we'll get as much of a question as we can before Dr. Nadine has to go. Go ahead, Karen. Thanks, Cindy.
Thank you all for having me tonight. My name again is Karen Coccia. I'm a quantum energy healer, a multidimensional mentor, and a soul alignment coach. I'm trained in a number of healing modalities, including Reiki, intuitive healing, quantum healing, and also life coaching. I have a free course running in a couple of weeks, Accelerate Your Awakening, on December 16th at 8 p.m. Eastern, and you can find that on my website, karencoccia.com. And I also work primarily one-on-one with clients, mainly via Zoom, and I am offering a discount to anyone who comes through in the MeWe program on 10% off from your sessions. So it's MeWe and then the number 10 for your discount. And again, that's Karen Coccia, KarenCoccia.com. Thank you all again so much. I hope you all have a wonderful evening.
Great. Now I've got Cindy's and Karen's info in the chat too, and Dr. Nadine's as well. Go ahead, Dr. Nadine. So why don't you have a chance to share about yourself so if people watch the video, they can find you.
Oh, so I'm Dr. Nadine. I am a master healer for animals and humans. And when you come through me, we'll talk and we'll settle on a price that works for you for a session. They won't be as long as I typically do, but yeah. And my address, you said you put it there?
Yeah, I've got your info in the chat, but it's
awesome.
magnificentmind.com. Magnificencemind.com.
So your own magnificence, Dr. Nadine 111 at magnificencemind.com. Yay. Okay.
Great. Thank you. And I know you've got to go soon, so we'll stay for just
I do, but I see Quest said he has a question. So
Quest is here and Quest has a question. Yeah, go ahead, Quest. I'm gonna unmute. You're still muted.
Yeah, hi. Yes. Thank you, Dr. Nadine. I have a question for you. I don't have any pets, so it's primarily for myself. I'll be brief. I've been having blood sugar issues, and I was told it's my pancreas.
yes.
I've been craving a lot of carbs and sugar over the last year. My mother started feeding me sugar when I was 2 months old, so I've always had some issue with that.
Yeah.
And now it's to the point where, you know, of course, if I overeat, that's an issue because I didn't do it last night. I didn't overeat, but I still crave the carbs later on in the night and I eat too much and then I go and I sleep, quote unquote.
Yeah.
But I know it's more than that. Diabetes on both sides of my family.
Yeah.
Also suffered from a bulging disc, sciatica issue. Woke up Christmas, December 2019 in burning pain, couldn't walk. Took me about 8 months to get my walking back without having an operation. So it was on my right knee. And I think my body compensated. I was told I have some kind of musculoskeletal situation. So now my left hip has been giving me the blues for like the last 6 months.
Okay.
And so I just want to know what you're picking up for me.
Okay. So am I muted? No. Okay. So yes, pancreas was as soon as I said you had a question, is pancreas is lighting up. So let's be thankful for the mothers out there who really wanted to control their children, right? Let's get into the gratitude part for the mothers, because bless their cotton picking hearts.
Yeah.
But the pancreas.
She told me she fed me because I would not. Her mother told her to make sugar, make rice, and soften
And
it
sugar,
up and put
right.
sugar in it because I
Sure.
wouldn't eat. For some reason, I wasn't eating.
But let's get it. Let's
yeah.
get into the gratitude for the mothers and for that genetic line, because this isn't just you and your one. You have to go up that genetic line. I'm looking at 7 to 12 women. 7 to 12 women in that genetic line are still wrapped into the sugar thing.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not about the sugar. So I'm going to give you an assignment if you're willing for an assignment.
Yes.
So this assignment is to find a mirror and stand in front of the mirror and look in your eyes. And the message you give to yourself is, I love you, Quest. I really, really love you.
Okay.
I love you, Quest. I really, really love you. As you're looking in your eyes. Because the pancreas processes sugar, which is all about love, right? Why it's sweet. We want to be sweet. But it's not about the physical right now. It's about this part of, can I love myself? Can I give myself sugar, the love, in a different way?
Okay.
So in the evenings, right, what your trigger is, 4 o'clock in the afternoon? And then if it's not bolted down, it's that hand to mouth disease.
Mm-hmm.
So the moment you stand up to walk in the kitchen for the carbs, have a detour, go into the bathroom first, find a mirror.
Mm-hmm.
I love you, Quest. I really, really love you.
Okay.
Right? And then start writing down all the things you love about yourself.
I'm sorry, my battery went off for a second. What about the things I love in myself?
write down, start a list. Here's what I love about myself. I love my eyebrows. I love the fact that when I get an idea, I write it down. I love the fact my toenails grow nice. I love the fact I have cool glasses, right? Whatever shows up for you that you can come and give love to yourself versus putting sugar in your mouth that stimulates that pancreas. Okay, so that's one aspect of here. The second aspect of here is we've got to increase the fiber in your system. And number one, you can do it with vegetables, but you would have to be eating a lot of vegetables to increase your fiber. So there is a powder. You can either do this with psyllium husk powder, or you can do it with ACAICA, acacia, however you enunciate this. It's a fiber powder that you can mix in a little yogurt, you can mix in water, you can mix in a shake and down it. A challenge for you would be to start drinking 6 to 8 ounces of water mixed with a little spoon of that powder, and then walk out of the kitchen so that the fiber can come into the system and balance you before you reach for the carbs. And hopefully this is still being recorded because she just lost her feed. Yeah. So I'm going to put that, just repeat that again.
She's probably taking notes on her phone or something. It's okay.
Okay. So I'll spell it out. I think it's a now brown. ACAICA is the powder, but it's a fiber powder.
I'm getting a link.
And you put that in the system. Okay. The bulging disc, yeah, we need to handle that at a different time. So I think somebody else has information for you, but where I'm just totally getting this is all about you loving yourself.
I can't hear anybody.
Okay. Hopefully you can come back and listen to the recording.
West, we can hear you, but it's low.
Me or not, but hopefully I can get this in the replay.
Yeah.
Can't hear anything about what Dr. Nadine was saying.
Okay, but I get, Laureli, I get that somebody else has information on this as well. So I'll say goodbye and I'll go find the thing and put it in the.
It's great. I'm putting some things in the chat too.
Okay, cool. I just know the acacia powder, ACAICA.
I put a version of it in the chat.
Awesome, thank you. Okay, I gotta go, everybody. Thank you so much for participating, and it was lovely to be in your presence. So, au revoir.
For being with us. All right, who else has something? Quest, can you hear us again? Maybe not. Go ahead, Susie.
No, I can't. I don't know what's going on with my phone. I was listening through my car Bluetooth. And
is it plugged into your car? Turn the volume up in your car.
I think the only way I may be able to is to go out of Zoom and come back in, but I know this is over.
What if you try turning your video
on? I did. I disconnected my
hearing a little bit.
My Bluetooth in my car and turned my car off. So now I'm just trying to talk to you through my phone, but it's not coming back in. And I know you take a while, Laureli, to get the videos posted. So if you can stay in touch with me and tell me when that will be, I'm just going to have to listen to what Dr. Nadine said.
I'm going to go see if I can.
And someone in chat, let's see, Dr. Ann Schumann, she said she had some information too. So, okay, I'm gonna take a screenshot. And thank you for sending me your information. Turn my video off.
Remember?
Okay, I'll try that.
I wonder if her phone volume is up.
That's what I wonder.
Okay, I turned my video off and then turned it. Yeah, you can call me. Let me put my number in.
I might be able to get
anyone who has anything. If they're still there, please call me at this number. I'm putting it in the chat right now. I appreciate everyone. Oops, wrong number. I appreciate everyone who is trying to get in touch with me. Thank you so much. There's my number. I hope.
Okay, I can hear you on my phone, Lorelei.
Yeah, hopefully there won't be feedback.
Okay.
Can someone else talk on the call?
Sure, I'll give it a shot. I don't hear any feedback. Can you hear me now?
You can hear Susie though, right?
Yes.
Great. All right, go ahead. We gotcha.
Okay, so yeah, I appreciate your persistence there, Quest. I have blood sugar issues too, and I know weaning myself off of carbs took a whole lot. It takes like 2 weeks to really flesh it. Loving yourself is a big part of it. Dr. Nadine said that you say you love yourself in the mirror. And I do something similar. I say, I love myself just because. I don't put any conditions on it. And I have worked on that body issue. My right ankle was the first part I looked at and went, I really like my right ankle, and then work up from there. Other things, I can give you some practical aspect. I know after I do this sort of thing, I need to go and walk. Walking helps me a lot. But you said you had the sciatic issue, the disc issue?
Yes.
Okay. I don't know if I can speak to that. Yeah, I'm sensing that there is, because you're dealing with generations and generations of women who have felt that their lack of sweetness in their life should be passed down. You get to break the cycle. This is what your contract is. You're breaking that cycle. If you ever want to sit with your ancestors, with the grandmothers, and say, look, I understand where you were coming from. Times were hard. Times are different. We are shifting. We are making an active effort to shift the energy of the times, and you are a part of that. And so I don't feel that any of them feel the need to be forgiven, but you can still give their energy back to them and reclaim your energy from them, particularly your mother and your grandmother. They're so that you can be fully yourself and they can be fully themselves. Yeah, and it's not a question of asking them why it happened. The fact is that it did, and they were functioning from that. They were working from this uh, this oh golly protocol. I don't know if that's not the right word, but they were working from this place of this is what my grandmother did, and so you have to do it, and so you can break that cycle. That's part of the big family cycle. Where else was I going with this? Reclaiming your energy. It takes time for your body to recover from being carbed. One thing you can be very proud of yourself for is that you didn't overeat yesterday, because that's very much a temptation. So you're doing it because of you.
Right. The reason I didn't is because I went to visit a friend and I was just throwing stuff in a bag, and I ended up leaving. I'm only on one medication, which is for high blood pressure, and I have a whole bunch of supplements, and I left everything at home. So I have not taken my blood pressure medicine or any of the supplements I normally do. I have an hour and a half drive to go back home to get all of that. Haven't done that for today. And so that's why I didn't overeat.
Okay.
Immediately.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That brought an awareness to you. You can have an impact on your body in those ways by looking at yourself and exploring the ancestral part of it. I don't know if I can do that right now. Yeah, I've got one grandmother there. She's got her right fist on her hip, and she's just looking at me like, I know what I did. This is what my family did. And so she's kind of resistant to this. Sit down with her and talk to her in whatever time, dream time or in meditation or however, and just say, this is what happened and this is how it's impacting me right now. I am ready. You get to say, I am ready to stop this cycle now. I am breaking the cycle and loving myself because I am, not pushing your attitudes on anyone else. And that's a big part of that. Creating your own sense of self. And think that's what I've got on it at Quest.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. You're welcome.
Cynthia or Donna, anything here? Okay, so I'll just mention just back in general. So back to me is often connected with anger. And so healthy expression of anger, yes and no. And so looking in your life where you have kind of messy, unclean, yes and no, where you either share it in a way that's not direct and it's coming out sideways and it ends up leaning into aggression, you know, being harsh, like pushing at, pushing away, pushing down, or where you're stifling and holding it in. Yeah, look for those kinds of things.
Yeah, definitely. Because I remember when I was going through that 8-month period of not being able to walk and, you know, seeking out other medical choices for other than surgery, because the first thing my doctor said is surgery. I just remember laying there for hours at a time crying and remembering my childhood. And so I remembered an incident when thinking I was around 2 or a little younger and getting angry for whatever reason. Little kids get angry because they can't get what they want. And my father specifically saying to me, temper, temper. And he stopped me in the middle of me expressing that anger. And yeah, I have lived my life like that, just repressing fear, living in fear and repressing, my emotions and not expressing them. So yeah, that makes a lot of sense to me.
Yeah, so like lion's pose in the shower. You want to do these things in a way that's really safe for your body, safe and friendly to your body, but like lion's pose in the shower, like, you know, like just thinking back about the time when he like suppressed you when you were 2.
Yeah.
Right, holding your throat open. Yeah.
Yeah.
And Susie's got something else too.
A reassurance that being angry is okay. It's okay to be angry. It was other people who were afraid of your anger. So I like that thing. I'm glad Laureli didn't do it straight into her camera because we would have gotten it. But doing that and having those conversations with those who have passed, they're far more open to it, and you can let them know, like, this wasn't okay. This is how it's impacting me now, and so I am reclaiming my energy from them. You are reclaiming your energy from them and giving their old attitudes back. I feel that very strongly. That's going to help shift you in such a way that you can see a path more clearly to a more complete health.
Okay. Great. Thank you. Laureli?
Yeah.
Yeah,
looking up the other fiber thing.
Like I mentioned earlier before I could hear you guys, I know it takes you a while to get these sessions posted. Do you have an idea about when this one might be posted?
We just created
a couple weeks or something?
We just created a new structure with Anissa. I'm going to go upload in bulk, like all these things, and she's going to sort them out and get them uploaded in the right place and labeled. So yeah, so it should happen here in the next couple weeks. I think she's going to start plowing through all these things. Yeah.
Okay, that's great. I'll look for it. And I think you gave can you give the link again so I can screenshot where to go to see the recording?
MeWe Fairs on YouTube, and I just put in the link an example of a psyllium fiber product just so you can see what it is. So psyllium and was it acacia or something like that? So I just saved the chat too. I've got your email address so I can send you a couple things. Yeah, so there's the recording.
That would be great if you do that. That'd be great. I thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. It's MeWe Fairs on YouTube is where you can find that. Yeah, and I've got these 2 links right here, so I can send you these. And then there was the third thing. What was the third thing? Oh yeah, well I've got those too. All right. Oh, acai. There was something else. I feel like there was some other supplement that I'm not remembering what it is right now.
Okay. It'll come to you at 3:00 this morning.
Maybe so. And it's in this recording, which we're going to get up. All right.
Okay.
Great.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. I'll keep you
Yes.
on here so you can keep hearing
Okay,
as we
thanks.
close up. All right, let's see. Spotlight. All right, so, and let's see, practitioners, thank you so much for staying late. Let's go through and have you all introduce yourselves again, and I'll put your information in the chat again so people watching the recording know who you are. I just do want to go, I know it's late for Cynthia. Cynthia, you want to go first? And
Sure, thank you. Good evening again, everyone. I'm Cynthia Okimoto, and I am a Reiki healer and practitioner. I mostly work with dogs and cats, and I'm based in New York City, where I do holistic dog training, which is also available over Zoom for anyone who's not in the city. Thank you so much for your participation and listening tonight, everyone.
and your website is?
My website is newyorkdognanny.com, New York spelled out.
Great, thanks. All right, Susie or Donna, whoever wants to leap in next, I'm great with that.
I'll go.
Good.
My name is Dr. Donna Sauer. I'm an animal communicator and animal energy healer. I have background in sciences and Reiki master, and I follow Lakota healing traditions. And if you would like to get hold of me for a reading, I'm at dr.dlsauer@gmail.com. And we can set up a time to do a reading for your little one. I hope you all enjoy this evening, and thank you for coming.
And I'm Susie Parker Goins of Blue Lightning Healing, channel, energy healer, guide, calling in whatever gifts that are available to help you in the moment to clear your path to a heartfelt life. You can find me at bluelightninghealing.com, and that's got the links for all my podcasts and events that I'm going to be at. And it's been so great to share the screen with all of these fabulous people. Thank you.
And thanks so much, everyone, being here. My name is Laureli Shimayo. I'm an intuitive eye reader and a body psychology coach. And we have lots of events coming up here at MeWe fairs. We have our in-person fair starting again in Washington. So we'll be in Bellevue next Saturday and Sunday, December 4 and 5. And some of us from the panel will be there in person. We're there 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. both days. And we have a special channeling event happening Saturday night at 7 after the fair. And then coming up online on Wednesday, December 1 this week, we have a panel on tarot with some new practitioners that have never been in our panels before. Getting ready to sneeze. And then we have a learning circle coming up on Saturday, December 11, and animal communication and healing panel, more animal questions coming up on December 13, and an awakening panel on the 18th. And I think we've got a fair again on the 19th. So lots of stuff coming online too. You can find out more about all our events at mewefairs.com. Thanks everyone so much for being here. Let's get us off spotlight. There are only so many of us left because it is late. Thank you everyone for staying late, and thank you everyone for asking questions.